All righty, here we go. We got a live watch along. Phil's Mets Sunday night baseball. Boys, as far as I'm concerned, the season starts right now. Tonight, we are deadlocked 46 and 31 with the Mets. Game three, like I said, Sunday night baseball. ESPN, all the dramatics are here. But the best thing you guys have going for you right now, Red Riders, is we got a live watch along. We're going to be here all night. We got 5 giveaways. Jump in the chat all night long. We got Shane active in the chat already. We're going to have a lot of engagement opportunities. All we need from you is your participation, and there's going to be a prize coming your way. Slim, Bones, how we doing, boys?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm doing good. I'm struggling with the with the day to day of the Phillies. You know, one
Yeah.
day I feel like they're the best team in the world. The next day I feel like they're never going to win a game again, and I'm in never going to win a game mode. So we'll see. I'm hoping that changes quickly. But with Luzardo, I don't know. He's a big question mark. How we feeling about Luzardo, our boy Jesus, Bones?
Yeah, I mean, not a good start. The last one,
Right.
after he came back, had a good start. Besides the 2 bombs he had.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm looking forward to a good start. I think it's his first start against them this year, so that's good. I mean, Nimmo had an awesome game last night. They all had an awesome game last night.
Woo.
So let's see if he can keep the ball down, because Mick Abel couldn't do that last night, and that was certain.
Would love if anybody had any Luzardo predictions for tonight. Throw them in the chat, right? Because I was debating today. His over under for strikeouts was, I think, at 5.5.
Yeah.
And it might have been minus 150. So they're expecting to get 6 strikeouts, and I stayed away from it. But yeah, Luzardo, like I said, at the beginning of the year we thought he was going to be a real big time piece. This is going to be a big game for our confidence in him and his confidence in himself, because it's definitely dwindling. So if you're in the chat,
100%.
what do we think? What do we think is going to happen with Luzardo? Let us know. What are your predictions? Because we got to get these in pregame. That's why we're in here a couple minutes early. We want to get your predictions before the game. We don't want the corniness, saluting post performance.
100%. Yeah, and like you guys said, we got a big lefty-lefty matchup tonight. Luzardo versus David Peterson of the Mets, who's been pretty damn good this year. And Bones, you hit on this, right? Last night was a home run derby fest. And the first 2 games, I have it right here, right? Game 1 was the Phils. We won 10-2. Game 2 was the Mets 11-4. So the Mets kind of hit us with a hold our beer moment. They scored more runs than us in the second game. I'm kind of holding my cap on the run differential, right? We had 8 on them to their 7 the second game. That's reaching a little bit. But, guys, if you are in the chat, we'll be here all night. This is a full game watch along. Hit that subscribe button. Look at the bottom there. Follow us on Twitter, Instagram. This is just a Phillies community, so please join it. Slim, you had a parlay you wanted to tease before that game, like you said. Why don't you hit on that?
So the parlay before the game starts. Before I get into the parlay, back to Luzardo, because I want to get on the starting pitchers. Last night, if you were following the...
Just mute yourself there, buddy.
That's one of them tonight.
It ran...
You good?
Yeah, I didn't even touch anything that time. So we got whatever. Long story short, last night, Slim told you that Abel... his fastball is what he needs to have going for him, because he only really has maybe a pitch or 2 off of that. The Mets are hunting fastballs. So they were hunting fastballs yesterday. He was unable to locate any of his pitches. He really doesn't have any secondary stuff to work off of. So I think that's one huge reason why we saw Abel get rocked. Now, how does that play into Luzardo?
Mm-hmm.
Well, we know our boy Luzardo, as some of the Red Riders has called him, he's Mr. Finesse. His fastball doesn't get up to 97. It's much lower in his velocity. So, again, that's going to be something to watch. Can he finesse himself around this Mets lineup? It's something to we're going to wait to see. On the flip side, I was down by the stadiums today, by Packer and Darren Street, and it was windy. About 5 hours ago, the wind was blowing in. I was taking a look, and I got a gut feeling that Mr. Forearms himself, Remuto, is going to go yard. And the hottest player for the Phillies right now has to be Trey Turner. So the slim parlay for today's game is going to be a home run by Remuto and 2 hits by Trey Turner. He gets the most at bats. He's going to get 2 hits for us tonight. He's going to lead off with a hit when he comes up in the bottom of the first, and then we're going to hunt for a hit the rest of the game. And Remuto, we're going to be hunting for a hit all game with you as well. That's plus 1519. Okay, that's plus 1500. Yeah, so let's go. That's the parlay. Hopefully you got it in. It was plastered all over the old socials too. And at this point too, Ken, this is the last thing, then I'll let you guys talk.
Yeah, baby.
If you enjoy Bones Knows, because I don't know if you guys, I'm sure you're like me. I'm sure the Red Riders are like me. They're watching the views, and the views are getting a little bit higher and higher. That's first off, we got to say thank you to everyone who shares, likes, and all that. So if you haven't, please do that now. We're going to be here for the full game. The first pitch is about to happen right now. So please share and like. But secondly, if you're someone who hasn't right now, please, you know what to do. Subscribe and like. We know you like Bones Knows. We know you enjoy the podcast. We know you like the bicker and back and forth on the socials. So yeah, if you're someone who enjoys the content, enjoys things that were goofball, things whatever, please do us a huge favor and smash that subscribe button for us. Please. It's about time.
Well said. It was refreshing that I got to hear someone else say that other than me for once. So thank you for that. Before this first pitch, like Slim just hit on, what do you guys think about the whole Buddy Kennedy at first and Otto Kemp in left field thing? I touched on the socials. What to hear your thoughts, Bones?
Yeah, I mean, I guess it is what it is.
Right.
Like somebody have to do it. Kepler's been struggling against lefties, so something's got to give. And it sucks that it's in a game where winner takes first place in division.
Right.
It just so happens they have to do it. Like you got to get Kennedy at bats and Kemp out there in left field because once Harper comes back, there's really no place for him to go besides the platoon to left with Kepler that they're talking.
Right.
I'm a little surprised because first off, I'm excited for Buddy Kennedy being up. He was super duper hot during spring training. He's one of these guys that's we're lucky to have all these death pieces. I'm not shocked he's playing first base, but I'm shocked he's not in the outfield because weren't we trying him out in the outfield in spring training? I mean, I wonder what they think of Otto compared to Kennedy to not potentially just flip those, keep Otto at first and Kennedy maybe in left field. Because I'm thinking Kennedy's more athletic, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe Kennedy's more of a hitter. And with that being said, I expect Kennedy to hit.
Well, they're thinking Kemp's the better player, so that's why they're going to keep him, try him out in left field because that's where he's going to go.
Makes perfect sense. Makes perfect sense then.
All right, the game is underway. We are in the top of the first here. We see the chat. We got Shane in the chat saying he's taking the over on K's for Luzardo. And everyday Phillies saying, "Hey guys, go Phils."
Yeah, I can't.
Here you go. That's
we're live here, so I gotta do dad duty. I gotta go wipe a behind for my kids.
Oh no, that's the first. That's the first one of those.
First diaper change on the red corner.
Wow. Yeah, I don't know. No comment. I have no comment.
You didn't take the over on diaper changes for the game, Slim?
Nope. And like I said, I had no comment when I saw Cassiano's mom and wife get involved. And I don't know where Bones' spouse is at. Where is the spouse at to take care of the butt?
Bones is a versatile player here.
He is all over the place. All over the place. Before that, he was cooking the chicken tenders. I saw that he was folding the laundry off camera. Look, you can see him now.
You better be careful back there. He doesn't realize that I told him about this. His camera follows him. Yeah, it's like a motion detector.
Oh, I see. That's hilarious. Wow. That's something else. All right, but it looks like Luzardo's got a strikeout here.
Yup.
Marte, he's another guy. That's your first K. So you're above 10 pitches. All right.
Good call, Shane.
Got one. Here comes the news. Talk about Soto and Castellanos, man. Both those guys look like look like they're running with cement feet, man. They both have had moments this series out in the outfield running to the corners looking terribly slow.
Speaking of your boy Castellanos, because you said his name, how about that that overplay, that misplay that he had in right field?
It was
What
unreal.
was that?
It wasn't as bad as
Yeah,
it wasn't as bad as Weston Wilson, but it was an overplay.
yes.
So Topper
yeah.
said it was the wind. That's up there. That's a good one.
I mean, something looked a little funky there, right? Like I love to bag on him on his defense as much as the next guy, but something looked a little off there. But
Someone
No, not what I think it was. I think the camera guy was bad at his job too. To
Oh,
made
yeah,
it look
true.
worse than what it was.
to make it so. Come on, you think the camera guy? No, it was just a bad play. That's
No. I'm the camera guy. Like he messed up too. So
right.
like it helped out Castellanos a little bit.
There's another
As-
K.
Oh, you might be a little bit ahead of me, but that was a big wild pitch to get the guy second there.
Never mind. But yeah, if Castellanos had those packets from Dombrowski, maybe he would have made that play, right?
My
Slim?
God, I wonder how that's going. I wonder how many packets he's gotten so far. Who prints out the packets? You think is that
Probably an
Mattingly's
intern.
job? Yeah.
Yeah.
Some geek in the front office.
All right, we got one. There's one right to Castellanos. There you go, bud.
Wait, so did you guys see the graphic last night when Lindor was up the bat before he hit his homer?
No.
Like they were talking like how 27 games in a row when Lindor hits a home run that the Mets have a 27 game winning streak, right?
We did see that actually.
Yeah, well, next pitch he hit the homer.
Right.
You get one from there. It's just I feel like this stuff always happens like to the Phillies. They show these wild stats and then boom.
Yeah, like clockwork. So Bones, good time because we got a nice little chat activity filling up here. Why don't you ask your first question for the chat? Get some responses going here.
First question for the chat.
Yup.
August 29th, 2009.
Okay.
What
Philly turned the unassisted triple play against the New York Mets?
That's a layup.
All right.
Red Rider Nation. That should be, Jeopardy.
Yeah. That's a
Oh, nice.
Wait,
All right, there we go.
correct. Wait, hold on. I'll let Bones be the one to. Eric Bruntlett was the first answer from Stephen Kaz.
Yeah.
Correct.
And it was April 23rd, not 29th. I'm sorry.
All right.
We had the wrong date.
And that was not the question I thought you were coming. So that was a nice surprise for me.
Well, you said the first one.
Okay, all right. I was going to say we had an entire conversation before the show. If that's the type of questions you're bringing, we did not. We had a miscommunication, but very good question there.
Do you want to drag that one out?
Yeah. So Steve in the chat saying, "What were the packets from Costi?" I guess he's getting some coloring books. That's a goodie.
There goes Chris's boy.
Let's show some of the giveaways here. We'll tease some of them. First and foremost, Bones is teasing that nice little trucker he has. And look at we got the Otto brand and Otto Kemp. A coincidence? Maybe, maybe not.
Yep.
Second one. For my Star Wars nerds out there, we have a nice collab. We got the Phillies, Darth Vader, koozie collaboration.
Ooh, the Vader.
And then the other giveaway, we got a nice Philly Fanatic mini bat. So this is something, if you're a mini bat collector, you can get this stuff autographed. You can have it, hanging in your man cave, whatever you like. We got something for everybody here, folks. So we have some more questions coming. Get Slim.
The Phillies got to adapt some kind of persona. And I think the Darth Vader persona, the Philly who embodies that to me is Trey Turner. I think we're almost at the point where we can give the keys to to Turner and lean into Turner as the leader of the team. I think, especially in the second, and what we're going to see in the second half of Turner's contract is him basically be, that steady face. He should be an all-star again this year. If you haven't, please vote for him. You can vote for Turner up to 5 days. We might have to have a little campaign because right now, Turner's been the man. And I really think that if we're going to have one Philly who's a Darth Vader type, I think it's Trey Turner. And I say that because I'm tired of the old vibes we had. I'm tired.
Nice tie-in.
I hated the song, even though it was pretty catchy years ago. And now with Schwarber, and I love Schwarber, we should pay that man all the money in the world. But the workman type lunch pail vibes doesn't always work. You gotta be that, but you gotta be more than that, right? You can't be just the guy who shows up every day. You gotta be the guy who shows up every day and has like a edge to you or a leadership quality to you, to where that's what I think Turner can bring. I really think Turner can bring it.
No, well said. And the big narrative nowadays is that this is the Trey Turner we paid for, right? And I think that's exactly right. Like this is the Trey Turner that we all were so jacked up for when we signed him, a couple of years ago. And we have a question in the chat from Everyday Phillies. Do you ship prizes to NYC? Yes, we do. So we've shipped stuff as far as Tennessee. So we'll ship it to we're probably not going to do international, but we've gone national. So yes, we do ship prizes all over. And you also said it. He hated the daycare. Welcome to the dark side. So that's a nice little tie-in to the dark side right there, baby.
Yeah. We got to and Spaceballs is coming back. We got to get some memes with Turner in the old Darth Vader helmet. The old 100%. Dark helmet.
Lord helmet.
The Lord helmet, right.
Spaceballs. Are they doing like a remake of that? I missed that.
Yeah. The sequel's coming out.
Nice.
You didn't see the it had a legendary trailer, or not even had a legendary teaser. So the old school Star Wars, how the backstory goes up the screen.
Of course, yeah.
They do that, and they just rip the entire Star Wars catalog since episode 1, basically. You gotta YouTube it. It was one of the funniest things I've seen. Funniest thing I've seen since Memorial Day weekend, no doubt. It was hilarious.
And Spaceballs is the OG spoof movie, right? Like how that became a trend with Scary Movie and all that stuff. Spaceballs, it doesn't get any better than that. 10 out of 10.
I got to say one thing about spoofs. The all-time spoof is the Monkees, right? They spoofed the Beatles, and they had a TV show where they were basically spoofing the Beatles. But not here, not there. We can move on.
Love it. Love it, love it, love it. And we got the chat saying, Red Corner Phil's Star Wars Night collab. Hey, man, we're open. We are open to that.
We want to keep our wives, not lose them.
Schwarber down on strikes.
Ooh, you guys are now ahead of me. The new location, you guys are ahead of me. By about 20 seconds, not much.
So, Chris, other than
speak to me, Bones. Speak to me.
Castellanos' misjudgment last night, we'll call it. What about the rest of his week, other than besides his benching?
Oh, he had the misjudgment that Saturday. Thursday in the 9th inning, he had a terrible at bat. Yeah, I remember that happening. I think we ended up winning that game on Thursday night. It's been so long. What do you had? And here's the thing: Thursday night, I said nothing. I let it settle. I'm like, I'm not going to sit there and, I got people in my DM. I got people. They let me know what Castellanos when he sucks. All right. If Slim, everyone is watching Castellanos. Slim has eyes on you throughout the city.
I pick and choose my shots.
Right. Well, you pick and chose a shot. We're not going to get into it now, but there was a shot immediately the next day.
Mm-hmm.
And Slim didn't shoot on Thursday, but he got shot at on Friday.
Yeah,
it was interesting.
Sorry, I was looking at that. Boom hit it hard.
Yeah,
just right at him.
And then the home run. He has 2 home runs, and I actually had a bartender say to me today, with the Castellanos. The grand slam, cool, already up, but it was still kind of a tight game there at that point. So the grand slam, I give him kudos to. But that
Yeah.
ninth inning home run, because I actually went to bed. I'm not even going to front. I
Was
went
it
to
the ninth inning? Is that correct?
bottom of the eighth.
I don't
Yeah, I
think
think
it
it
was
was
the
the
ninth.
eighth.
Yeah,
Bottom, bottom,
not to split hairs on you, but I just
no,
didn't
you're
think
right
it was.
because they were home. It was their last at bat. It was their last
Right.
at bat.
Yeah.
But yeah, I went to bed after the top of the eighth, and then Castellanos. Some may say I went to bed because I didn't want to see Castellanos go yard, but yeah. And then I woke up to Castellanos gifts and memes galore, and yeah, and then I was out for my morning walk, and I had to address the nation.
No, listen, it's all that stuff's fun, right? That's not going anywhere, but we're gonna pick and choose our shots. We don't want to beat that horse to death too much.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Jerry in the chat saying, I don't know about you guys, but did it piss you off the way Soto rounded the bases after his second home run? Old school guy in him. Send the message to any of the team that shows up. I hear you, Jerry. I mean, I'm old school too with that stuff. I got jacked up the other day when the Dodgers and Padres managers were getting at it with a little bit of physical contact.
Yeah, that was awesome. So we had the issue before. I know Jerry was all for plunking the Braves back. What now? 3 weeks ago or 4 weeks ago?
Right.
Who's the pitcher that can be the Darth Vader type that's not going to care? Because I'll tell you what, I was watching that Padres game, and first off, Tatis got thrown out at multiple times throughout the series, but Suarez, their closer, he got down 3-0, and then he just didn't give a crap, and he just plunked
Ohtani.
He just didn't care. It was awesome.
Maniac.
So who's the guy? Yeah, they had a maniac. So who's going to be the guy that's not going to care that he might get suspended a game, that it might not be on brand? Is it going to be a bullpen pitcher? Can it be a starter? Who is it going to be? It maybe really Walker. We pay you enough. You might as well ding somebody. Would have been a perfect spot yesterday to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, who could be that guy?
I think Kirkring. Kirkring has the brand for it. That's why I wanted to plunk. I wanted Kirkring to plunk one of the guys, the last one for Harper. But and Shane in the chat says if we didn't protect Harper versus the Braves, we are going to beam Soto for pimping a homer. I hear you, brother. It just seems like they're trying to get it out of the game. And honestly, this is the biggest reason they're trying to get out of the game. When you're paying a guy like Harper, 30-something million a year, you're paying a guy like Tatis and, all these guys making so much. One ball that hits someone in the wrist and they could be out for 3 months. You know what I mean? Like, that's the reason. I'm not saying I agree with that because I like protecting the guys. I think Bones summarized this the best when he went in there and basically said, no, you can't have them thinking that you can just throw at Harper because it changes the whole strategy of the game.
Yeah, throw it at their legs. You don't got to throw it up.
Yeah.
But that's not what's actually happening. What's happening is they're throwing the high inside pitches, right? That's what happened to Harper. That's why
100%.
That's why he's getting hit, and that's why Tatis is getting hit. The Padres stuff started with Tatis getting hit so often because they throw those high inside pitches. So they say I did it by accident. That's what Strider said. That's why, and Strider had a smirk about it. That's why you got to go back and hit Strider there. But the same thing. The Dodgers were set. They were pitching high and inside on Tatis the entire time, and they used that as a crutch. Then the old verbiage is if you can't control it, don't throw it, right? But we see how that goes. What do you guys think? If they're trying to throw it, that's their approach to getting a batter out. I mean, especially who's the other dude who we saw it in the Los Angeles Angels series. Nito got plucked, and they're saying, hey, they're crowding the plate. So you're an old school guy, Jerry. What do you think about something along those lines with the batters crowding the plate and these pitchers are just starting to throw in high and inside? I know his was more about the home run.
Knowing Jerry, he's all about that. Bones, let's get another question out there. We got nice chat activities getting high here.
All right. Before I do that, Walton's in there. He's got a good comment.
All right, Kev, call it out.
Surrounded by assholes. Yeah, that's how I feel. And then TJ Sprouse, he's definitely not going to win a prize tonight. He said, looks like my hat needs a belt extender to it.
Unfortunately, the hats are one size, so I couldn't get the the premium sized hats.
But Mike Schmidt is the all-time leader in home runs for the Phillies against the New York Mets.
Mm-hmm.
Who is number 2, and how many home runs has he hit against the Mets?
Okay. We're still top of the second here. Nothing ball game. We got Shane in the chat saying Hunter Brown was the Astros pitcher who plunked. Yup.
Yeah, and he definitely didn't do that on purpose. Like I think it
No.
was like the second, I forget what inning it was, but that dude, he was just having like an off day. Like, what's the need to hit that guy?
Right.
So, what do we think about Marsh not being in the lineup today? So we talked about Kemp and Buddy Kennedy, but the other thing is because Slim was thinking about taking Marsh to hit a double or a home run, and then I was like, oh, wait, he's not playing. So I don't know. I think maybe this would have been an opportunity to let him keep playing.
All right, Kemp. Yeah, no, listen, I hear you, and I tweeted that, and basically, obviously, they're trying to go heavy righty for the lefty pitcher matchup. But honestly, my biggest thing is this is going to be one of those games, and rightfully so, right? If it doesn't go our way, you know the narrative is going to be why are you starting a minor leaguer at first, and why are you putting Otto in left field for the first time in a huge game like this?
Yeah. All right.
So,
Yep. No doubt.
yeah.
But I like both guys, and like I said, I think they're both hitters. It's funny. This is not a joke. I had a dream of Buddy Kennedy last night. I don't know where I was at, but he was taking BP, and I was behind the pitcher mound somewhere, almost like omnipresence figure, watching him take BP in my dreams last night, and he was crushing the ball. So yeah, I think he's going to come in, and in spring training he's better. He looked good. He looked really, really, really good. No, I'm excited for him. Like Bones said, it seems like they're going to be working out Kemp more. He came up first.
Chat's cracking me up tonight, man. The chat, you're on fire tonight. You're cracking me up.
I got to check out the chat.
We got a winner in the trivia. Shane Ryan Howard at 48 homers. So as I was looking this up, I thought the slam dunk answer was Pat Burrell, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Well, I went to double check, and here he's third on the list at 42.
All right,
chat is the fourth. The
fourth
host of the show, man. The chat can get in your head.
Slim, when we did our we're gonna open the bring back the curtains a little bit here. Slim, did you think of any questions for engagement? Because so far, Bones he's 0 for 2 in the type of questions I've asked. So do you have any? Do you have any
Phillies related questions?
Yeah, where there's multiple answers, not a solo answer.
Where there's multiple answers.
Why didn't you get to that yet?
Oh, you have some more. I'm sorry. All
Yeah.
right. Because we're trying. We only have a limited amount of giveaways here, guys.
Because before Bones gets to his questions, I have questions, but they're all traffic code violation related questions about your hazard lights, left turns, and stuff like that. And I want to get to it because Bones Bones is a professional driver. I'm a professional driver. But yeah, we don't got to do that now. But yeah, when it comes to my time, I got traffic questions.
Very nice. Very nice. Casty with the glove. Nice catch, Nick.
Should I bring it up now, Bones? I'll ask the chat now. It's a simple question, chat.
Yeah.
When do you put on your hazard lights? When do you put on your hazard lights? That's all. That's all Slim wants to know. I've had people, I'm not kidding you, people complaining to me, arguing with me about hazard lights for months. Enlighten me. When do you put on your hazard lights? Now, Devo and Bones, I didn't say that in any biased way, right? When do you put on your hazard lights? Sounds good.
That was pretty.
Chat, let me know. When do you put on your hazard lights? I'm going to pick a winner later.
That's a good question. I like that.
All right, hold on.
Oh, we
when
got a
I
lot.
double park. I also put my hazard lights on when I double park.
So
But I only double park in the places that I have, believe it or not, I had certain neighborhoods and locations in my Twitter bio, and they're the only places where I will double park. If it's outside those locations, I do not double park.
and Chad, if you're new, if you're just joining so far in this live chat, Bones has already changed a diaper during this live podcast so far. So he is one diaper change deep so far. I don't know what he's doing right now, but we got to let him know when he comes back that camera is following him, because I'm getting worried that he's back there without knowing that he's on camera.
Yeah, please remind us, because I absolutely won't remember. If you recall back to our last watch party, I forgot Bones even left the screen. Remember, we were talking about one of the questions.
Yeah, Nikki C, baby, hard right at him.
Honestly, the Nikki C thing, I had fun with it for a day, and now it's taking a turn that I can't even come close to handling.
That's too funny.
It's not with the public. It's really with Topper, because it shows. And we had somebody in the chat, Bonzi Jones. Bonzi Jones, I agree with you. Topper probably should be starting Marsh today, and I'm afraid that Topper is now going to back down like a little chihuahua to Nikki C.
Bonzi also saying that hazard lights are for wimps.
Yeah, I jot that down. I don't think that's going to be a right answer, though. If you put your hazard lights on at G and at G and M or G and Allegheny, are you a wimp if you just double park right there, or G and Allegheny, and leave it there? Jones, I guess you can do it without the hazard lights and be more boss. I guess that's the point.
Chris, do you ask this question since you just moved down to South Philly and everybody decides they're going to double park in the middle of the street and take a good old time?
So the parking situation I have right now is, I'm very laissez-faire with the parking and the driving. I'm laissez-faire. I don't really care. I don't really, a long time ago, Slim let go of his road rage, ego. Don't get mad when I'm driving. The South Philly people are really starting to piss me off. It's crazy.
What's the main pet peeve?
So I know there's
Cones.
one house.
Cones kill me.
Bingo. There's one household. The guy's like the local legend, right? I'm going to leave it at that. He's the local legend, so he always has his cones out. And now other families are just, all right, we're all going to say that guy can do it. Cool. No one else is going to be able to start doing it. I'm starting to see a ripple,
The cone thing's a violation in general. I give two slight passes for cone exceptions. Number one, if it's blizzard, right, and you just shoveled out all of your parking spot, if someone puts a little chair or cone there, I'm not going to judge them. The other one is if they're elderly and they haven't gotten a handicap sign yet officially, and that also I factor that in. Outside of that, violation. Absolute violation.
Yeah, no doubt.
There's a guy down the street from me. He has the handicap things, but if you're handicapped, you can park in them things. Like it doesn't. Yes. It's not just for that house. Yes. But this guy puts his cones there because he's an amputee, so he writes on there amputee, so nobody steals that spot from him.
Gotcha.
Interesting.
He wants the platinum handicap
spot. Long foul ball.
We got Willie D in the chat saying he throws those cones right in the dumpster.
Is that Remuto? No, it's Kepler.
No, that's Kemp.
Oh, Kemp. I'm watching the game on an angle at the new location. I gotta get the spot set up. This is 2-2. What's this gonna look like? Oh, strikeout. Here he goes.
Yeah,
But no, I had that situation. My grandmother had handicap stickers, and she lived at my mom's house when I was living at my mom's house.
Yeah.
And my mom, we didn't have a handicap spot. Grocery shopping, taking my mom taking my grandma out, making sure she's still getting out, yada, yada, yada. She would park at this place across the street that has spots. A spot, right? The place across the street, the person
who handicap spot.
that had a handicap spot. The person
Got it.
across the street that had the handicap spot, I believe to be deceased. Different
Mm.
story. But every once in a while, my mom would park there. Who knows how long? That the person who lives there comes knocking on the door. My mom answers, and they say, "Hey, your son Slim has been parking in our handicap spot, right?"
Ooh.
And my mom goes, "It's not Slim. It's been me. I've been parking in your handicap spot." So I don't
Wow.
know. It's just tough knowing that even your sometimes your own mother can, just be doing things and then people assume it's you doing it, including things like parking in handicap spots. But she was warning it, but this person assumed it was the jerk off son.
I was wondering what the main takeaway there was because you kind of painted your mom as the villain in that one. So, like, is it that? So your mom basically was saying that she's deceased, so it's
Well,
fair game.
the villain is the perception of the guy thinking first off, just assuming, and then my mom, yeah, just not being. I mean, I guess they were transparent about it, but yeah, it's just not even being involved at all to being involved.
Bones is getting absolutely demolished in the chat tonight for this hat, and I feel personally responsible because I'm the one who got him the hat. And we the most recent one we have Ryan A in the chat saying is Bones wearing a souvenir ice cream helmet right now. Wow.
Bottle cap on a beach ball.
Oh God, that's good. That is good.
TJ Spross with the answer. When you see a hazard in front of you and the traffic behind you needs to be alerted that you are coming to a stop.
That sounds like a
Close, but
GBT answer.
yeah, it sounds like it's wrong. Okay, so next, we're still looking for the right answer. Still looking for the right answer. All right, the game's back. Still 0-0. Top of the third.
Arenola's alma mater with their second national title in 3 years.
Yep.
Saw that.
Carolina today.
And guys, good time here. Now that we are at the top of the third, let us get over to our first segment of the show. It is Feel the Love, brought to you by Love City Brewing. This is a big one, and I see Slim's face there because he realizes that he has not sent me a Feel the Love, and he claimed, and now I'm blowing him up because he's claimed that he never does this. But here we go. So, guys, we have a gigantic watch party coming up this Friday. This Friday, we got a watch party at Love City Brewing, our official brewing partner. So please come hang out. It's going to be a fun one. The first round of beers will be on the red corner. Bones, who is your Feel the Love? And we'll give Slim some time to think of his.
He's got plenty of time, and the guy I have has plenty of time, too. He's sitting on the bench tonight. It's Brandon Marsh. I mean, this guy's been hitting the ball since May 1st. He's been hitting the ball. I mean, he should be the everyday center fielder right now because Johan Rojas stinks. But he's hitting over 300 since May 1st. This week he had a great week. I think it was like 3 for 3 or 3 for 4 the other night. But Brandon Marsh, defense, he's not far off of Rojas. I mean, he had the route the other night that Chris was talking about. Was it a good route? Was it a bad route?
Yep, I hear you.
But I mean, I don't think his defense is that far off to keep putting Rojas out there like platoon and two. Like, just give it up with Johan Rojas. Get him out of here. But, Brandon Marsh is my guy for this weekend. He's been getting a lot of heat this year, but since them numbers, like May 1st, them numbers, he's one of the top hitters on the team. Give it that his at-bats are less than the others, so it's kind of like an inflated average and stuff like that. But he had a good week this week.
No, great call out there. Slim, who do you got, baby?
Hey, it's going to be my boy. He's been my boy for all year, really, and it has to be Tanner Banks. Tanner Banks, I got all the love for you. When the game the other night, once Walker came up and the game was 2-2 and you were being brought in, I absolutely thought you were going to also blow that game. With that being said, you didn't just do fine. You end up getting the win. So you're
Oh
2
yeah.
and 0 for the year. Your ERA is 3.74. Yeah, I just got love for Tanner Banks, who's really, again, he's not the biggest piece, the biggest arm right now, but every time he's called upon, he's doing something. He's doing a little something. I'm asking for a little something, and he's been doing a little something. So yeah, I'm feeling the love for our boy Tanner Banks.
That was a beautiful. I feel I need a little something tie in there by you. And I'm going to stick with the theme of relief pitchers because we're a big relief pitcher show. I'm going to go with our new closer, in air quotes, Kirkering, Ryan Kirkering. I've been feeling the love for that guy. I want him to kind of get some of this swagger from some of this. He's the new closer narrative going around there. Let's hope going into the dog days of summer and hopefully the postseason. Knock on wood here, as he's the guy that we can count on. So my field of love is Orion Kirkering. Hopefully the Phillies' new consistent closer. Guys, again, this Friday we are doing a watch party at Love Sitting Brewing. Come hang out with the Red Corner. It is Friday, June 27th. We got the Braves when we come back in town after the road trip coming up. So come hang out. The last one was an absolute blast. So come hang out with the Red Corner at the watch party coming up here, guys.
It's
All right.
Friday. What time's the game?
7:15.
7:15. So that means
Was another Apple game?
Slim,
Is it another Apple game? No, it's not.
Okay.
Yeah.
Slim,
Thankfully.
Devo, Bones, we'll all be there. Probably around 5 o'clock. So we'll be there nice and early. We'll be hanging out during the game. So yeah, come. I know last time a lot of people were confused. Can't be confused this time. Friday. The game's 7 o'clock.
I think we might even have some people in the chat who showed up on the wrong day.
Yeah, he's in here.
The place, Love City's sick. It's a sick place to watch the game.
It really is. It's a great atmosphere. The beer's great if you're a beer person. Now here's the other thing. They have good cocktails in general. So if you're not a beer person, my wife is not a beer person. She likes the wine. She likes the cocktails. And she was drinking those the last time we were there. Slim, I think your fiance was drinking some cocktails as well, right? So I mean, it was a great time last time we were there.
Absolutely. She's usually a martini. Did she get a martini when we were there? I can't totally recall off the top of my head. I got
It was a cocktail.
Attention.
Back to your field of love.
Yeah.
And Bonzi Jones, or whatever the hell his name is, alluded to it earlier with benching guys, right?
Yeah.
I think it was.
I think he was talking about Marsh.
Oh, yeah, talking about Marsh.
Yeah.
And Kirkering gets the save Monday night, first save of his career. Tuesday night, I don't know if it was Monday, Strom talked about, it's on Twitter. It's going to be his first save. That's the first of many. Come out Tuesday night, and Kirkering's in there in the 8th inning. Strom's closing out the game in the 9th.
Yeah.
Let them get a flow going.
I completely agree.
The chat with the hazard lights, Bones. Let our follower know that I think the language, I'm not going to lawyer it up, but I think the language is completely wrong on that one. Sprouse or Sprouse. I'm not sure which it is. Bones, can we confirm? The simple question is, when do you put on your hazard lights? And the answer we received was in front of you. When you see a hazard in front of you and the traffic behind you needs to be alerted that you're coming to a stop. I have an issue with the language of hazard in front of you and you are coming to a stop. Can we keep that as a wrong answer and wait till we get a correct answer, Bones? Or is that a correct answer? You're the expert here.
Yeah, sure.
All right, we got to keep it going. Got to keep it going on that one. Sorry, Sprouse.
Dev, can I give the question now?
Please.
All right.
Please.
So it's a Phillies Mets thing, and we're gonna take the slam dunks off the thing here. You're not gonna win this prize with giving me Tug McGraw or Lenny Dykstra. Who is your favorite player that played for both the Mets and the Phillies?
Oh, nice question. So, chat, give us some great examples of what Bones just said, and we will pick the best one that matches that. And I think we're going to go with the special Darth Vader koozie to get sent over to you
All right, we got a man on.
nationwide. There you go. Base runner. Love base runners.
So let's make it harder for them. Let's hear your guys' answers.
So I'm going to take off the
board.
board. I'm taking. We talked about him before. Billy Wagner, right off the board.
Ooh, Hall of Famer.
Yep, that's
Billy
what I'm
Wagner.
taking. Taking Billy Wagner.
Ah, Reedy, you're out.
I'm going to go Zach Wheeler.
All right, Zach Wheeler.
Ooh.
Great free agent signing from the Mets.
All right. And Tug McGraw. So there's 3 you can't take.
And Lenny Dykstra.
All right, let's go, Phils.
There's so many, man. There's so many.
So many.
Yeah.
All right, here's Buddy Kennedy. He looks like he's ready to hit,
He looks like a guy who can hit the ball.
And if you remember, he worked out with Trout. Bones back in spring training. I think you were hating on that. So I'm cheering for Buddy Kennedy.
It's funny. That's it. God, I'm sorry, Slim.
He's low key on Slim's radar to be a Slim guy. He can't be until he produces, but he's being monitored.
Guys, the question was, name your favorite player that played for both the Mets and the Phillies. We took a couple off the board: Lenny Dykstra, Tug McGraw. Devin Devo said Zach Wheeler. Slim said Hall of Famer Billy Wagner. Let's hear your guys' answer.
I like that. Hall of Famer Billy Wagner. I like the way that sounds.
And Slim's question is, when do you put on your hazard lights?
Do you guys any more questions thrown at you? Oh, that's a good one in the chat there.
Because I'm getting
So we're not going to say them out loud until
that was a great pitch.
It was a good pitch.
So we're facing the Mets. This guy Peterson, who's their 3? Who's their top 3 starters right now? That would be in the playoffs. And I'm gonna charge my phone
with Senga on the Senga's on the IL. What was it? How many days was that? Was it 15?
I guess
we're 15, but it could be longer.
Right. And McGill's on the IL too, I believe. So we're looking at this guy Peterson. We're looking at Channing, the guy that went last night. No, he stinks.
Clay Holmes,
yeah. Yeah, he got paid. How's he been? I haven't been monitoring.
Very good.
Yeah, he's been good. Their staff has been awesome.
Frankie Montez coming back.
All right, here we go.
All right, base runners, let's go.
He's been getting rocked, I saw in the minors, but maybe that's just.
But they have to bring him up because it's only like a 20-day window they have once they start his rehab assignment.
All right, sounds good to us. All right, here we come. Here comes our boy Rojas. We actually
look at that, a bunt.
The bunt's huge. Because now we got our boy Trey Turner, who we need to get a hit.
And he can't even do that. What a bum.
Are you ahead of me? Is Turner out already? Who cares if Rojas gets out? Because we just need Turner to come up, get a hit, bring the first guy home. I mean, no, letting the bunt, he'll make it 2 runs. Obviously, we care about that a ton. All right, he's going to get another chance at it.
Yeah, it's a sacrifice, but Jesus Christ, he can't even do that.
What were you complaining about?
Huh? Who, Bones? I'm.
Okay, never mind. I'm caught up now. I thought you were complaining about. Now I see what you're complaining about. The fouled bunt.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Are you?
I'm not going to say nothing because I'm clearly ahead of you guys.
Yeah, I know. I can't.
Brutal.
Why
are we?
I know. How can that happen?
And listen, Sosa's been doing that dumb stuff this year too.
Like he was like frozen.
Yeah, that's something that a manager, honestly, he's got to tear into him about that.
That's a joke.
Yeah, I mean, that's no outs, scoring position. You can't fall asleep on second base.
Top of the order is coming up.
Yeah, like you can't do that. That's little league stuff, man.
And it literally just changes the whole situation where
everything.
Sosa's not, or Rojas ain't going to bunt now to move him over.
2 outs, automatic now.
Like our scoring probability just went down probably like 60%.
Yeah, and if he gets the bunt down, like we said, we the conversation, like Bone says, the whole
There
situation
goes a
changed.
double play in the inning.
Instead of talking 1-0,
Nah.
what's the difference that we're going to be talking about? If he gets the bunt down, it's 2-0 potentially with Turner coming up. If he doesn't, it can still be 1-0 with Turner coming up. Now, let's see if he even gets up.
That's brutal, man.
Now
Absolutely brutal.
Now it's 2 outs with, man on first with Turner up. Way less low leverage for the pitcher. Way less likelihood Turner gets a hit here. With that being said, let's go Turner. We need you to get a hit for the parlay. All right, we only need 2 guys here. We need Turner
remind them, Slim.
So plus 1519, a little over 1,500. If you bet $100, you win 1,500. We got Turner to get 2 hits. He needs 2 hits, 2. And we also need Realmuto to take 1 yard. Okay, so there are the 2. We need 2 hits by Turner, and we need Realmuto to go deep. The first hit's coming up now.
It's not too much to ask for there, Slim.
And if you guys are value hunters, after this, well, I'll wait. I'll hold my comment. Let's go, Turner. Let's go, baby. 2 out damage. You can still hit a 2-run home run. We'll still go up 2-0 in this inning. You don't need all that bunt nonsense. It's 2025. You want to swing for pop. And it messes up because he's trying to swing for contact.
Yeah, I mean, that's
it gets in your head a little bit, I'm sure.
Everything's different now.
Alonso's starting to grind my gears now.
Remember how hot Edmundo started the year, too? Like, that was insane.
Yeah.
First, 10 games or so, he was our best player. Just goes to show how long a baseball season is. And, Slim, I was going to say this earlier, but I didn't want to interrupt your flow. When you're talking about Buddy Kennedy, it goes to show that, how long we've been doing the pod now, right? Because we're referencing, spring training conversations about Buddy Kennedy that we had previously. Because I remember those conversations when we're that last bench bat, right? We didn't know if it was Kennedy or if it was Clemens, R.I.P. Clemens.
Yeah, and Kennedy was hot. He was hot.
Yeah.
Yeah, Turner has all his home runs on the road. So a couple things here. We're going to wait till this bat finishes up because I want to kind of loop a little knowledge in potentially. I'm really hoping he gets a hit here. I don't want to put. Let's go. All right.
Little double pump there on the throw down the second, and you got to think that's going to be a tough blow for the Mets. Francisco Alvarez getting sent down to the minors. He's been struggling. Had the homer last night.
Yep.
But he's been playing like dog poop. And Frank the Tank's been calling for him to get sent down to the minors for a while. We're hoping Frank the Tank joined us tonight, but he never got back to us.
No, we got another Mets.
So with
yeah,
my bad.
No, you're good. Go
with Turner making that out there. If you're someone who wants to hunt for value and cheer for the Phils, now might be a good time to take Turner to get a hit. All right. Oftentimes before games, for him to get a hit, you got to lay like $300 to win $100 back. Right now, he's probably still minus money, minus 125 to 155. But you can take him now, or you can take him to pop a homer because, like the chat said, he hasn't hit a homer yet in Citizens Bank Park. That's not going to stay. So you can martingale your units, keep doubling down. So that's 2 things you can look for, and you can honestly start looking for it right now during this break. Go ahead, my bad.
No, you're fine, brother. I was just going to introduce our first Mets troll of the night, Ron. Ron is a friend of the show. He's not one of the annoying Mets trolls, but obviously we can't give you too much love right now, brother. But nice to see you in the chat. I wish nothing but hell on your team from now until the rest of the year, but nice to see you back. And we have Everyday Phillies in the chat saying Sosa rally killer, simply brain dead move. 100%. That was a brain dead move, brother.
Yep, 100%.
Yeah,
100%. And like Bone says, seeing the catcher being sent down to the minors is a huge good sign for the Phillies. He was a real big vibes guy for them last year. So if you're keeping track at home, Iglesias, the vibes guy, is out for the Mets, and this catcher guy, He's now in the minor leagues. So yeah, they had to find they got to recheck themselves. And it's hilarious watching Soto in right field. He might be as bad as Castellanos.
I tried telling you that, dude. He's
His
cement feet. He stinks in defense.
Yeah, his arms probably is definitely better, but besides that, he's definitely lazier. Castellanos is definitely trying harder.
Oh.
And with that being said, Soto's coming up to lead off the inning here. Still zip. Lazardo's looking solid.
And Bone, just so you know, when you're walking away, the
Yeah.
camera's following you. So I just wanted you to be
nice.
aware of that. Yeah, so we can see you back there. So just have that in the back of your mind.
What was I going to say? Oh, speaking of bad play, did you see O'Neal Cruz the other night? That ball hit to him in center
Yeah,
field?
was that last night? I saw that. Yeah, it was just a ground ball, and he
Yeah.
it went under his glove like kind of like an 8-year-old or a 7-year-old.
And he just stood there, did absolutely nothing.
Horrible.
Oh, Soto's not leading off. Something was wrong. Marte.
Imagine we did that with Heppy.
We've been doing laps for days. That's for sure. Man. I had someone, speaking of a Marte, I had someone message me, DM our Red Corner account, and ask me for Ketel Marte over the Diamondbacks. Would I trade Miller, Abel, and something else for him? And what were your thoughts on that, guys? Just picture that extra thing as nothing too crazy.
Yeah, I would say yeah. I probably would do.
Yeah, I said yeah too.
Yeah, he's a good player.
Yeah, he's a top 5 player at his best.
I love Abel and all, but it's looking like he might be like a third or fourth starting pitcher in this league. Who knows? He's definitely a starting pitcher in this league, but he definitely has a lot of work to do as well. You know, he's still a little rusty in some places. So, but no doubt about that. And honestly, it fills a huge kind of need defensively for us. We get better defensively. He's a dude who's probably going to be hitting he's definitely going to be hitting the top half of the order. So yeah, like you said,
absolutely.
You said he's a top 5 type guy, potentially top guy.
He's arguably your best player if he was on the team.
Yeah,
like that's how good he is.
Right.
Yeah,
no doubt about it.
Yeah.
All right, let's go. Here comes the big dog. What the heck kind of fun attempt was that? 3-0 count. This is a timer. All right, so you got on. Now I know this is Mets at the Phillies, but how are we feeling about the Braves? And they're coming to town soon, right?
We're playing them. Game 1 is our watch party of the Braves.
Oh, cool, awesome.
Yeah, yes, no, you're right. I mean, the Braves did the Lord's work versus the Mets for us.
Yeah.
They swept them in a 4-game series, right? Was that they sweep them?
Yeah.
Ron, maybe you can confirm that. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, because they lost
Mets
6 in a row.
7 straight.
Yeah, so yeah. I mean, you get swept in a 4-game series for as good as a team as they are. That does not happen a lot. Big fly out there.
Ooh.
You guys aren't getting any background noise from me, right?
No, that's all my kids.
Okay, I'm just making sure. No, because I have the audio on very, very low for the game to make sure you guys didn't hear it. Has anyone checked on Bones' blood pressure since he put that hat on? Man, it keeps flowing in. Gonna need to call the fire department to get that hat off his head later. Yeah, the Jaws of Death. Speaking of Jaws of Death, Bone just watched Jaws for the first time. Let's talk about that.
I didn't even finish it yet.
It's an old school movie.
Not into nap time.
Yeah.
Very slow so far.
Yeah, well, listen. So Jaws is one of those, and actually, chat, Here's a impromptu topic. So American culture, right? What are movies that are absolute like slam dunks? It's almost like you got to see this to say you're an American. And don't take the American thing. Like, I'm not talking about patriotic movies. Just you guys go. I'm saying Jaws is one of those movies, right? So give me some
Yeah.
other good examples. Slim, what comes to your mind?
Say hello to my little friend. Right?
That's a
Has
good
to
one.
be Scarface.
Yeah.
Scarface,
Scarface is
absolutely.
one. Yeah.
Got to see Scarface.
Sandlot, very good one. And got the baseball tie-in. Love it. Jurassic Park, that's a slam dunk one. Forrest Gump, great one. Bones, you got anyone?
Forrest Gump, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Oh, see, I'm
I
like a comedy guy. So like Animal House, Revenge of the Nerds.
okay.
Got to see them old school funny ones, you know.
Well, what about the baseball movies? Right? Which baseball movies you got to see? Honestly, my favorite one's probably Major League. It's probably my favorite.
Major League is great. The Natural is phenomenal. If you're just, that's an old school type movie. Got Goodfellas. We have Die Hard. That's a great one. Everyday Phillies shout out.
Definitely not a Christmas movie.
Yeah. Angels in the Outfield. Great one.
Oh, here's one. I got the winner. Sandlot.
Oh, yeah. Welcome to the podcast, Slim. That was already said an hour ago.
All right, thank you. I didn't hear who said
Godfather. I didn't see that one either. Don't plan on it.
Movies that I'm thinking of, like stuff like The Goonies, stuff like that, like where it's like you feel like everyone have seen that movie, probably because they were shown when we were kids, right?
The Lion
King, yeah, all the Disney ones. Trading Places.
Ooh,
I don't know if I'm with you on that, Jerry. Trading Places.
Good movie.
It is a good movie. It is a good movie.
The big one now is everybody's seen Home Alone. Everyone's Home Alone out.
Oh, Home Alone. That's Home Alone might be a number one answer. Seriously. Yeah.
So Ryan says Rookie of the Year. That's the first movie I thought of when with the Nick Castellanos and Real Muto played the other night.
Yeah. I just Googled. Yeah, Slim.
What's the first? What's the first good movie you remember seeing? Like you leave it and be like leave it in theater and be like that was a good movie. Like obviously we're all watching Barney and the nonsense as little kids. But what's the first time you remember leaving in theaters? Had to be a little kid movie or a cartoon movie or something. You'd be like, good movie. That was a good movie I just saw. Or saying good movie as if you're critiquing it as an adult, because wow, like so what? So Bones, Devo,
we get your question. What's the first movie you thought was good? We get it. The chat is on in fuego right now. Absolutely in fuego. Let me answer your question, then I'll recap. The first good movie what was the Will Smith in the Independence Day?
Ooh,
Independence Day. I remember seeing that. What's that, like 97, 98? And thinking that was awesome. Yeah. That was one of mine.
Yeah. What about you? You got one, Bones? I got one. And
in theaters?
In theaters, yeah.
Yeah.
Lion King. That's the first movie I remember watching in the
You were like 3 years old when that came out.
I remember watching that in the movies.
No, you don't.
Yes, I do.
Okay.
I remember watching it in the movies, and true story, Slim had to leave. After Mufasa was murdered, Slim had enough. My dad, who never takes me, we only went to movies. He takes me to movies, but we went to see Lion King. Mufasa was killed. I was a little kid. I couldn't handle it. I was crying. I left.
Oh, here we go.
Couple guys. Here, big boy.
Schwarbaum?
I don't know.
Let's see here.
He got it.
Lefty, Schwarbaum, baby. Love to see it. Man, he just comes up big. He just comes up big.
He's clutch. Oh, who
Yeah.
had a big clutch first inning at bat the other day? Was that Castellanos?
It's not the first inning, but I hear
No,
you.
I don't know. Was it yesterday's game or Friday night? I think with Castellanos came up big either in the first or second inning, and
God.
I kept my mouth shut. I was going to say something like, "Oh, was that clutch?"
Schwarber is
And it
awesome.
was. He's the man. We got to pay him. I'm fully on the Schwarber pay the man Hall of Fame campaign. I think he's better than a bunch of Phillies. He's slowly becoming, if not already, one of my all-time favorites. He's up there.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
100%.
It's time to sign the man so we can get the jersey, so we can certify the jersey.
Oh, I like that. I like that. Let's see here. I know so many good.
Huge home run.
TJ in the chat saying Airbud 7th inning fetch for a movie. Ryan A saying Bones, we can all see your thoughts about to burst from your head right now. Man.
Oh, there you go.
It's just the way the hat is. This is loose.
No, it looks fine.
Doesn't help that these headphones are sitting on here. It's a trucker hat. It's like a dad hat.
It is the difference between those big headphones and the hat. I think it just throws it off a little bit.
Well, let's see if it's true because my head's pretty big, right? Comparable.
Nicky C, baby.
Great hit by Nicky C.
Nicky doubles. Top leads the team in doubles, and he was I believe top 5 in the whole major leagues in doubles when I last checked.
Yeah, them stats don't matter to Slim though.
No.
The doubles though. He's getting a lot of doubles this year. There's
Mickey
things
doubles.
he does well.
Yeah.
Yep. You go on Mickey doubles. I'm fine with that.
Someone fact check me on that doubles claim I just made.
All right, Slim parlay. Here we go. Remuto's up. We need a homer. We need a home run from Remuto. I picked a guy who hasn't hit a home run in a while. I feel like doesn't really hit many homers.
No, it's a fun one. Chat has been.
He doesn't lead.
He doesn't lead.
Bobby
what?
Witt does. With
Well, hold
26.
on. I said top 5 in the league in doubles. He leads a team in doubles. I don't think he's even top 5. I think that might have been.
Can Remuto get one in the air, man? Let's go. Hit a shot here.
Pete Alonso's top 4.
Okay. Yeah, Alonso's having a monster year.
They're having trouble. Well, you said that's doubles, but they're having trouble now with the guys in scoring position.
Ryan,
even yesterday was a lot of solo home runs, so they're still kind of struggling when there's guys on base.
Speed, are you saying Speed in the chat? Are you saying that Nicky C's 9th in doubles in the league? So he's top 10, not top 5. Either way, he's having a good year with doubles. Get the point. Superman, random Superman. Shout out there for Everyday Phillies. Love it. I love how we're still randomly saying movies still. Keep it coming.
I never gave mine. Mine was Space Jam. I came out and I was like, Space Jam.
That's a good one.
Space Jam was a good one.
So Nicky C is not top 10 in the league in doubles. Can I have where he is, please? Chat.
And then I saw Space Jam in kindergarten. I thought it was good. And then in first grade, I saw, believe it or not, I saw Titanic. And I thought that was really good.
Titanic. Yeah, I mean, that's a classic film.
All right, Remuto. Nice walk, but doesn't do Slim no favors in a parlay. So we'll have to wait till the next at-bat. And we got a...
Well, we have a chat battle right now. We have one person saying that Nicky C is tied for 11th in the league with doubles, and one saying he's tied for 9th.
Ooh. It's a 9-year. I'm going with 9. It has to be 9.
I like that better because that makes me look smarter. So,
well, I was going to say we're going to keep checking back, and he's going to keep going down the doubles list. He's out of the Nicky C stuff. It's unreal.
But you know what? We got to do a skit with you on the packets. We got to
With
think of something.
the-
Something with the packets.
Big spot here for Otto
well,
Kemp.
we know
Big
that you,
spot for Otto
Devo,
Kemp.
you have an Infinity Halloween costume. You can put the gold chain on and just be Nick Castellanos every Halloween now.
Yeah. I love that. I love that. All right, it's a big spot for Otto Kemp here.
And here's the other question: in your life, do you think you're going to see more good movies or bad movies? Because I'm probably just slightly. I'm going to be nice and say slightly above 500. But you get on a tear of seeing movies that you just do not enjoy, whether you're a father or a parent and you're going to see kids movies,
Yeah.
stuff like that. So yeah, I don't know. I bet what percent of movies have you seen in theaters that were actually good? It's probably under 60%.
What do you think, Bones?
I'm not a big movie
Yeah,
go
you
to the
don't really go to
movies
the
kind of
movies a
guy.
lot. Yeah.
Then you're the one. We should write down the movies you've been to. It's probably been like 10, and then
Dude, probably the
we can
worst
we can do
movie
the
I ever
quick
seen.
math.
I think it was called The Fifth Element.
Fifth
Is that the
Element.
name of that
Element.
movie?
Yep, I know the
Wait.
Fifth Element.
What year did that come out?
So you've seen
20
Lion King, The Fifth
15?
Element.
That was awful.
I've never even heard of that movie, The Fifth Element.
Pretty sure I think it was The Fifth Element.
So, Slim, to answer your question, I'm not a good person to ask on that because I'm kind of a ringer. Because when I'm going to the movies, I'm either going to a movie that's pretty critically acclaimed, which doesn't always mean it's good, right? But it usually means it's pretty good. And the
Right.
second thing, I'm going to see like a lowbrow action movie where I have very low expectations, where I'm just going to like it regardless. So I would say most movies that I go to, I enjoy. So I would say probably like 65% will be my
Right.
guess.
Pretty high, pretty high. See, I'm the opposite. I'll see movies that I know I probably won't like, or I'll see any movie that's, like you said, getting buzz. I used to try
Right.
to see all the Oscar ones.
Oh,
I've been drugged to movies. Who's this? Kemp? We got no outs here.
cut that audio.
There you go. No, big hit, big hit. On
I
his
know.
horse.
I was like Skip Carey yesterday.
Oh,
Yeah,
boy.
they're on their horses too, kicking butt tonight, man. This is nice to see. A little bit.
The Otto trucker hat. And this could
I'll
be
tell you
yours,
what.
my folks.
Man, got a guy on third there. And now we're in a place where a sacrifice scores the next guy, so we're in a good spot here.
Man, but this Met team does not go away. They really don't.
And yeah, our bullpen is what it is, as they say.
Let's see if Sosa can redeem himself here with that base running blunder.
Yeah, it'd be a good time to get a knock. Good time to get a knock.
I got your cone head, Bill.
Knock, knock, knock. Was that knock in the
Can
Berman
Sosa
back.
redeem himself after the blunder?
You got it? Let's go. He went yard.
No way. He had a 3-run homer?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Let's go.
He's the man.
That's
Yeah.
I mean, 5 runs is a lot.
And really, he's in there because his back gets hot like it was
Let's
earlier in
go,
the year.
baby.
That's
All
awesome.
that's forget everything we said about Sosa earlier. Love it, baby.
Yep, he's not in there because he's heady. He's not in there because of his defense. He can barely find a spot defensively at this point.
Bam. Let's
Yeah,
go.
He absolutely smashed that.
Rondo in the chat dropping an F-bomb. I
Yep.
hear you, baby.
Yeah,
5-0.
there you go, Ronnie.
5-0, baby.
The ties have turned.
Yep. Like I said, Ron, the season starts today, baby, and it's not going to be pretty. It's not going to be pretty.
Is Rondo Ron Darling? Do we have confirmation on that?
I don't know what that means. Is that
I
Ron
think it's-
Darling. He's a former Mets pitcher. He's their,
okay. Well, I thought you were saying
one of their announcers.
No, I know that guy. I thought you meant like a commenter or something.
No.
Yeah, got it. How the tables have turned, Bonzi. Love it. That's right, baby. Listen, this is good. This is good. The last time we did a Mets watch along, it did not go in our favor. So this has been good.
Yeah, and the Mets at this point at New York, and everyone that's from Queens, New York, right? They're dealing with you saw their basketball team get busted. They fired their
Oh,
coach. I don't even know they have a replacement. I don't even follow it. I don't have any predictions for tonight's game besides the Mets are adding to the Queens fan base agony with their performance recently. Like we said, they lost 7 out of the last 8, and after tonight, it's going to be 8 out of the last 9.
that's right, baby. And Shane R in the chat with a great stat here saying Peterson hasn't given up a homer in 7 starts and 2 tonight. That's right, baby, because he hasn't played the fighting Phils. Gotta love it.
And we need some crossover Mets and Phillies still, I believe. Are we still looking for those? Looking for those?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
if you
One of the
haven't,
best answers for players who have played with both the Phillies and the Mets. We took a couple off the board. Devin said Zach Wheeler. Chris said
Yep.
Hall of Famer Billy Wagner. I took the obvious Tug McGraw and Lenny Dykstra off the board.
So give us the best answers, guys. And then you will win one of these prizes that we went over earlier.
and if you haven't, send somebody a text message with the link. Let them jump in, give a guess. Maybe they can win a hat.
Yeah, good call there, Slim. We should be promoting that more.
Rojas
Yep.
for the walk.
Okay, here comes Turner again. The parlay, baby. We
Love
need
to see it.
Turner to get a hit. Now there's less pressure. Up 5-0. Hopefully these Turner got screwed last time with the Sosa thing. He was going to come up in a great spot, a lot of pressure on the pitcher, man on first and second with no outs. Sosa gets caught at second. So Turner coming up now in a nice low pressure situation. Third time seeing Peterson, he's going to get a hit here. Third time against Peterson, then it get hit against the bullpen is what it's going to look like. Let's get it right now.
Big at bat here. And while we got a little bit of dead air, I'm going to go on one of the Devo's digressions where I kind of just get something off my chest here. As you guys probably know, Red Riders that listen, we're city dwellers, right? All 3 of us live in the city. And more than ever now, we have these electric scooters and electric bikes flying all around, right? And that's fine. Look, the DoorDash, Uber Eats, all that stuff. These people got to work, and I know it's a good means of transportation for them. But you got to abide by the laws of the street, right? You're in that weird zone where you're like a quasi vehicle, and we got these people flying around like nuts. So I'm tired of walking downtown and getting my kneecaps almost clipped off because we got these guys going like 30 miles an hour. So listen, we want you to work and we all appreciate what you're doing, but abide by the laws of the street. If you got a red light, slow down when you're going through because Slim and Devo, we almost got clipped the other day and we weren't happy about that. So I want to see if anyone else has any good stories about this because it's getting crazy, guys. It's getting crazy.
Yeah, you got to work. And those drivers, if you're behind a wheel of a regular, mid-sized sedan or a truck or whatever you're driving, those people drive you nuts, but you can't run them off the road either. I know you're going to want to smash them.
Right.
I know I take deep breaths before I even start my engine in my car because I know there's going to be pests out there. Yeah, they don't care. It used to be just a cyclist, but now they're cyclists with engines, basically.
That's what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
It's this weird kind of quasi in the middle. Albert O in the chat with Ricky Bowe. Good answer there, Ricky Bowe. Good. And Ron in the chat saying the guy that clipped you was a Mets fan. That would not surprise me. That would not surprise me because I've never met a civilized Mets fan. That's for sure. Uh-oh.
Is this happening again with Rojas? Is this a joke?
Got here.
Nah, I hit him.
Share the road, share the signs. Amen, Jerry. Amen.
With that being said, they can't be in the middle of the lane in some of these residential streets. That's the other thing. They can't be in the middle of the street. They can't. I mean, I guess I'm more so talking about the manpower cyclists. Maybe the mopeds go a little bit faster, but the cyclists in the middle of the street, we got. I mean, with that being said, you as a driver, you can't be flying. You know, everyone has to do their part.
100%. I'm more so saying like you said, Slim, these vehicles that are basically motorcycles or scooters that are going way faster. I'm
Or
a
in and out of
cyclist
traffic.
in and out of traffic. Bingo. And then
Where you
Ron
open the
saying,
door up and boom.
boom. And Ron saying in the chat, they're doing the same exact thing in New York City. It's dangerous. It's crazy, man. And the biggest thing for me is I'm a cyclist, right? I like to ride my bike as much as the next guy, but I don't take advantage of that. And that's what we're doing right now. They're taking advantage of the fact that they're not following the laws that a vehicle will follow, and they're going to clip people. And they've already been clipping people. Actually, I was in the hospital to visit a family member like a month ago, and they said the number one thing that they're getting in the ER are people getting jacked up on those vehicles now. Seriously.
Kelly Oubre last year with the Sixers.
Oh, yeah. That was a weird story, man.
Yeah.
Happening again, man. We were unable to capitalize. Tough.
Listen, 5-0. I mean, that's
yeah.
You always want listen, you always want more. I completely agree, but I feel pretty good right now.
And as Devo was having his digression, I think Turner got a hit there for me. So we got one hit.
Let's go.
I had another little add on to your cyclist thing, and it's escaping my mind. But
okay.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. A lot of it's happening too. A lot of them are doing like you said. They're working for the companies.
Yeah.
The food eating companies, and yeah, I don't know. I'm a little bit suspicious. Oh, this was going to be my point, and I'm not here to defend the people in the mopeds, but the truth is, nobody's getting pulled over flying around. You know, so that's why we all have to do our part.
Yeah.
Because regular cars aren't really getting pulled over much in a lot of locations either. I go from Philly to Wildwood, and I turn on and off the kind of driving that I do.
You got Philly mode and then Jersey Shore mode.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
No, I hear you.
Yeah, it'll pick you off going over the bridge down there.
Right now, it looks like I'm coming from you guys from the Tron dimension or something with my damn camera. I was going to pick one up today.
It doesn't look that bad. So, Slim, you hit on this earlier, and we got to do a better job at promoting our other piece of content. But also, I want to give Bones a shout out here, right? Because as you guys have seen, we do the Bones Knows where he answers Phillies trivia. And obviously, a lot of people that watch the Red Corner, they also are aware of WIP, right? There's a lot of overlap there. And there's the weekly Beat the Hammer segment where it's all baseball and sports trivia versus the Hammer, Joe DeCamera. Well, Bones, one of our co-hosts, is 2-1 against the Hammer. So he's got a winning record against the Hammer live on the radio. So if anyone ever doubted Bones' abilities there, it's real, and he's tested himself many times.
And the fact is, Bones was 2-0 versus the Hammer, Joe DeCamera. Bones' only loss was one that was live. That was head-to-head for DeCamera's 100th total victory, right?
200.
His 200 win. All right, his 200 win. So it was head-to-head, a little bit different than the normal circumstances. But Bones won the first two. DeCamera won one. We really should get a best of 7. We really should. They know it. They know where you're at. This happened. This lasted when they were on the midday show. Now they're the morning show. And they really should show some love. They should meet us one day, maybe for Love City Brew, and show some love to our boy Bones.
There you go.
They, I was, so, not toot my own horn, but I was 10 for 10 the first 2 episodes.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
Damn.
And the one category was Phillies trivia.
Right.
So.
Right. And he beat a guy who wears a Phillies uniform on air and in games. So think about that.
He was actually wearing that uniform when he beat me.
He was.
It was game one of the Brave series.
Correct.
Yeah, well, they know. They know.
They do know. And Jerry in the chat with a monster answer. Monster answer there. And Richie Ashburn.
Oh, that very strong.
Very strong.
Shane Rand says, "As Slim, you know Sosa is a plus defender, right? He's absolutely not a plus defender in the outfield right now. If he plays shortstop every day, I don't think he would be plus at all. Maybe at second base, I think he's fine. I think he's fine. Um, I'm not going plus. I'm not going there. I'll send me the metrics. I'll send me the packet with the metrics. I'll go over it, but for now, I'm not going there. I'll deny the science on that.
Yeah, send that packet.
Yeah,
Shane, send that packet.
Bobby Abreu, another one.
That's a really good one.
Here. Getting some good ones here.
All righty. We got Bryce here mic'd up. Man, I know I went on a rant on the show. This whole Bryce injury is such a mystery. Really is. Oh, another good one. Yeah.
Pedro's one of my favorites. He's actually, I probably like him definitely more than Billy Wagner. But we only had Pedro for that little bit, but he was the man.
All right, let me ask another question here. This is on home run catching etiquette. So if you catch a home run as an adult, so I'm going to say 18 and over, do you believe that you have any ethical obligation to hand it to a child that you just may or may not have caught it over? Bones, let me start with you on this.
Man.
Let me hear the chat activity.
So, catching it over them, or they're like sitting next to me?
So, you just caught the ball, and almost in every instance, there's going to be a child around you, right?
Okay.
So this is your moment.
Absolutely not.
Okay. I'm with you.
Not.
I'm with you.
If there's like a kid next to me, and like maybe I'll like bump them out of the way.
No, no circumstance. It's the wild, wild west. It's the wild, wild west.
I don't know, but
I'm
definitely not just because he's sitting next to me.
I'm not saying
should catch it for him, and if he wants to get in that battle.
I'm not saying you box out a child. I'm not saying you do anything like that, obviously. But I'm just saying if you jump up and you go to get a ball and you catch it, you're not obligated to.
Yeah, absolutely not.
All right. Slim, where are you at?
Bonzi says, I got a kid at home that I'm going to give it to.
Yeah, it's good perspective. I don't, and I'm still not.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I absolutely give it to the kid. Like
I knew you were going to say that.
Yeah, I knew. Why would I not give it to the child? You know,
I know you wouldn't. No, you wouldn't.
100%. It's the more baller move. You make a nice little catch. You give it to the kid. You sit down, and then hopefully the dad buys you a beer. I'd rather have the father buy me a beer for one-handing a ball for his kid than actually having a baseball for myself as a grown man. I don't really care.
I'm probably going to tell the kid, I got 30, you got 34 more years. I've been trying to catch this for a while.
Exactly.
Good luck.
Would you? What would you even do? Like, what would you even do? Would you keep it? Yo, here's a ball I caught.
Like I said, I would give it.
That's what people do.
Give it to Thomas.
You're acting like catching a home run ball isn't a big deal.
Right. Well, if you're going to give it to a child like your son, that's different.
Even if he wasn't here, if I didn't have no kids, that kid still ain't getting the ball.
Right. So that's the part I don't get.
Going in my pocket.
So Slim, if you're wearing a red corner hat, Slim, and you do that, that's fine because that's going to give us some good press. But outside of that, I'm not into it, man.
Ah, come on.
All right, so I think this is a good opportunity for us to, guys, we have a really, really exciting night tonight because we are introducing two Yes, I said 2. So get ready here, Slim, because we're gonna do
Yeah.
your moment here. Are you ready for this?
Give me 2 minutes. I'm doing the math now because we just had
All right.
some finals.
Well, then you know what? We're gonna transition over here. We got Bones ready. You ready to ride on one of our new partners,
God.
Bones?
Yeah.
All right, let's get going here. The floor is yours, Bones.
All
Let's
right. So we're here with our weekly segment, around the corner, and this week and going forward, this segment's going to be brought to you by the Fresh Works of Port Richmond. Joe Yo and his staff have been a
Yup.
staple in the neighborhood for 15 plus years, and uh, going forward, they're going to they're going to be giving us food for our tailgates. First
Yep.
tailgate, July 18th. It's a rescheduled game. They're playing the.
We'll
Go
confirm
ahead.
that. We'll
Okay.
confirm that. Yeah.
I forget who. Or is it
Yeah.
that's not the Padres. I forget who they're playing, but they're gonna be bringing us different foods to each game. One game might be their wings. Next one could be their awesome cheesesteaks.
Oh yeah.
Uh, and they got a couple great sandwiches. The one is a Phillies related one we're going to talk about. It's the Dutchie. You can get some chicken with that, pork. You can make it like your own way, like whatever meat you want there. But
Yeah.
it's called the Dutchie in honor of the late great Darren Dalton.
Aaron Dalton.
And I'll just get in around the corner tonight.
And they got some of the best wings. The works is fantastic in Port Richmond. Pick up, dine in, cater. They do it all.
And the wings, apparently, I haven't tried it yet, but their hot Cajun is one of the best
Right.
out there.
I saw that. I saw the hot Cajun getting the new love with that little Cajun season dusting on there. It looks so good. So good.
100%. So as you guys know, Red Riders, we are tapped into a lot of different Philadelphia neighborhoods, right? And the Port Richmond greater area is one of them. And the chat is firing off because the gentleman, Joe, that runs the Fresh Works is a great guy, great community guy, and he's been doing it for a long time. So we are very excited to have them as our official tailgate sponsor and partner. And Bones, take it away here on the Around the Corner.
So going around the corner, we're going to start in the NL Central tonight, and the Milwaukee Brewers. Rookie pitcher Jacob Mizorowski.
Yep.
This kid's 2-0. He's got a 1.64 ERA, 11 strikeouts, and 11 innings pitched. And he threw a slider the other day that will just knock, like it took the batter right out of his shoes. I sent it to my cousin, and he was
Nasty.
like, "Wow, what a great pitch." And they're only 3.5 games back of the lead of the Chicago Cubs in there. They got 4 teams over 500 in the NL Central.
Yes.
The only one being the Pittsburgh Pirates, and we know how bad they are. I mean, their top 3 pitchers, they got like a sub 3.5 ERA. They're 8-22 with that record.
Ridiculous.
It's crazy.
I got some Red Riders sending me. They're sending me packets. The packets have been sent. Thank you, Red Rider Shane. I appreciate it. I have received the Sosa packet. So thank you very, very much on that.
Hold on.
Yeah, that rookie pitcher is nasty. The Central's nasty.
100%.
Second place we're going to go out to, we're going out to the AL West. And Cal Raleigh, catcher for the Seattle Mariners.
Ridiculous year.
League leader in home runs this year. He just hit another one today. He's got 31. Most home runs ever by a catcher before the All-Star break, and we still got 3 weeks before we even get there.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. Just simply on fire this year.
Wow.
And most homers ever by a switch hitter before the break. And there's some greats out there, switch hitters. We got Mickey Mantle, Chipper Jones. So
Yeah.
these are guys out there, most home runs ever before the All-Star break. And they're a team that's like fringe, like playoff. And we talked about like a couple guys that maybe we could go out there like Chris talked about picking from with Julio Rodriguez. I don't think he's going to be on their block since he just signed a contract extension 2 years ago.
Right.
But there are some guys out there that we could go after, especially relievers.
100%.
Nuno's, he's their closer out there. Somebody the Phillies could look at for their bullpen. So keep an eye on the Seattle Mariners, but also keep an eye on Cal Riley. See how far he takes his homers. Most homers ever for a catcher is 48, and that's Salvador Perez. That was like 2 or 3 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
So he's on pace for 66 right now. So
I hope he gets, like, that'd be awesome if he gets 50 plus.
yeah,
That would be absolutely awesome.
and he big dude. He is huge.
He is.
Shane Randon, there's the Big Dumper is his nickname.
Yeah. That's a great, great nickname. Anything else for around the corner?
Yeah, I got one more, and it
Yeah.
was the big news. It happened after you guys did the podcast last week.
Yeah.
Rafael Devers trade goes from the Boston Red Sox to the San Francisco Giants in a move. Talk about, like, I mean, this could be up there with a bad Luka trade. Like, I don't know, these guys that they got back are really any good.
Head
The one
scratcher.
guy got sent right to the minors, Kyle Harrison. And he's been doing okay with San Fran.
Yeah.
But Devers, like it was talked about since spring training, when Alex Bregman came in and they removed him from third base over to DH. They basically told him to put his glove away. So he was hard time kind of accepting that.
Right.
But once he did, he said, all right, I'm going to be DH. So I'm going to put my glove away. That's what I'm going to focus on. I can focus on my hitting. Well, he started off 0 for 19 with 15 strikeouts. But after that, he came around. The guy he hit like 400 in his next like 32 at bats. And he quickly got up his average up to where it usually is. And since then, it's been business as usual for Rafael Devers. Then a
Oh, yeah.
couple injuries happened and talked about going to first base. And he said, no, I'm not doing it. Told me to put my glove away. And I'm all for like being a team player, but they went to him like saying, like, this guy, he's not going to come in. They were saying how Bregman was probably going to play second base. And then all of a sudden he signs a contract. Next thing you know, he didn't take ground balls at second base. It was all at third base. Then they're moving on from him, like telling Devers, all right, we're going to put you at DH. I'm with the player on this one. Usually I'm for the betterment of the team, but I think the Red Sox put themselves in a hole, and I think Rafael Devers was in the right here. And it last couple of weeks, more stuff's been coming out
Right.
about like why they maybe moved on from him. Wasn't doing press conferences with like their local media channel and stuff like that. And they should be asking questions to the GM and the manager. Like, why do you want to do this when you didn't want to do it in spring training? Yeah,
It's a
when you
fair
need
point.
it, why do you want to do it? And he was all for like doing it like next year and like going in the off season so he can work on it. He didn't want to do it now. Like, this is told me to focus on this. I'm going to focus on this.
No, I mean, that's well summarized there, and it was an absolute crazy story. And Bones, is that complete around the corner for this
That's
week?
around the corner. That was a good one this week.
That
Had
was
to
a
do
good
it
one.
with our new sponsor out there.
Yeah, I like the way you jumped around from the division. That was a great one. And again, the Freshworks Port Richmond, proud sponsor of the Around the Corner segment, where Bones takes us around the league, gives us big updates. And while we're here, this is since this is the first time, I wanted to just kind of point out the fact that what the chat immediately said about our new sponsor. So immediately, Bonzi in the chat said, "Great, great dude, great place, great sponsor." Then we had M Walton in the chat saying, "Best cheesesteak in Port Richmond." We had one of our listeners from New York City say he's going to come from New York City to come try it. Yeah, the works is no joke. And just back to the wings, put the wings in perspective, right? Kind of bring you guys behind the scenes. One of the friends of the Red Corner, personal and also friend of the show, Shawnee K. He's a listener. You probably have seen his thing. That guy makes the best wings in the city. By far, Shawnee K makes the best wings in the city. Not only do we think that he won the March Madness where there was 64 March Madness style teams. He came in number first in the city. He co-signs the Works wings. So if Shawnee K says they're good, they're good. So guys, check out the Works. They will be making the food for all the Red Corner tailgates moving forward. Let us transition to the big screen again. 5-0 still, top of the 6th.
And I like this move by Luzardo. Going up and tight in on Soto, makes him go around.
Oh, yeah.
And that's what we've been talking about. Show these guys, like, just ain't going to jam the plate on us, you know?
100%.
Yeah, it's honestly what's going around the entire league right now. You see here, the
100%.
Dodgers, the Angels.
Yeah, I think that was.
Where's Luzardo's strikeouts?
I think, like, the Red Sox and Yankees are always going to be the best rivalry in baseball, right? But lately, it's not really been a rivalry because the Yankees been kicking their ass, like in the division, stuff like that.
Right.
That Padres Dodgers, they've been going at it for 5-6 years now in this
Good
division.
Call. Yeah.
And even though the Dodgers are winning, I mean, like, Padres are there and they're not going down without a fight. Mm-hmm. Like, every time they play, it's always a battle, and there's always something brewing that could potentially get into what almost happened the other night, and it finally did. And I was glad to see that.
Yeah, I thought that the recent games have been super duper fiery and intense. I think it's a really good recent rivalry, and I think that's important because I don't think they have the history and the lore of the Phillies, Mets, or some of these others. Honestly, I wish the Phillies and Mets had some more playoff bouts, but yeah, the Dodgers and Padres aren't as strong.
There you go, baby.
Historically, as you would think.
What's that?
All-time case. That rivalry historically isn't as intense as you would think. It's honestly probably in its most intenseness right now. And with that being said, we know that the Padres are completely fraudulent, you know?
Luzardo 6 Ks. I mean, how about Luzardo tonight, guys? I mean, this is a nice breath of fresh air seeing this. Big spot for him, and he's answered the call. It's been awesome to see this.
Yeah. Keeping them in check.
Keeping them in check. Love to see that, like you said, Bones, high and inside. Soto is such a drama king, isn't he, with all that stuff? Like, he had the...
Yeah.
Like, he's unbelievable, that guy.
So here's which lineup, and this is if there's no free agency, if there's no trades.
Mm-hmm.
This is the potential lineup we will be watching tonight instead, right? So these are the people who came up through the farm system for the Mets and for the Phillies. First, the Mets or the Phillies lineup would be potentially Crawford, Stott, Hoskins, O'Hoppe, Bohm, Travis Denard, Matt Verling, Mickey Moniak, who has like 11 or 12 home runs this year, and then Rojas. Our pitchers, Nola, Ranger, Bailey Falter, Ben Brown, Painter, Kirkring, and Leiter. And quickly, the Mets would have had Pete Crow, Armstrong, Nemo, Alonso, Flores, McNeil, Vientos, Alvarez, Rosario, that second baseman, Jimenez, whatever his name is. I can't remember what team he's on, but he can't hit for dirt. DeGrom, Lugo, Peterson, McGill, Quintana, Matz, and some pitcher I don't even know. So, yeah, who do you think has a little better lineup there?
They got I don't know. You're all over the place there. You went pretty quick.
So I know what you were getting at there. You're basically introducing from the farm, right?
Right, straight from the farm. So the lineup would have been the big names are Crawford, Stott, Hoskins, O'Hoppe, Bohm, Denard, Verling, Moniak, and Rojas.
Probably the Mets.
Yeah, the Mets got Crow, Armstrong. They got Alonso. But after that, it's the Mets got the two big names.
Yeah.
We got guys who are pros 1 to 9. They got some dudes who aren't great.
Yeah. Vientos,
even pitching wise, we had Painter and Suarez who are studs. Nola, who's the name that you know. Their pitchers, DeGrom's good. Lugo, he's hit or miss. Peterson, McGill is kind of guys. It kind of would be a pretty sick rotation they had it now. DeGrom, Lugo, Peterson, McGill, and Quintana.
Wheeler didn't get drafted by them?
No.
No, who did Wheeler get drafted by? I know this.
He come from San Fran?
That might be right. That might be right. I want to chat. Who drafted Zach Wheeler? We should know this.
Yeah, Rondo, where you at?
Yeah.
All right, we got Kemp up.
Ooh.
Was it the Nationals? Or did the Nationals draft Luzardo? I believe the Nationals drafted Luzardo.
So, Bones, what was your take with the whole Nicky C thing? Because I haven't seen you in 2 weeks. And then I mean, I know it's a little bit over, and I'm not going to stay on it, but what was your take with him and Topper?
So, my thing was, when the Blue Jays. Zach Wheeler came from the Blue Jays.
Ooh.
Wheels, all right. We got Shane Ray.
No. So he was drafted by the Giants.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So my thing was, I was against Topper taking Nicky C out on Monday night because there was still a chance that he could bat, right? And they came and eventually Phillies started hitting and came up where Rojas had the bat and Nicky C's on the bench. And it could have been some insurance runs. And we know how the Phillies bullpen's been. So my thing, the only way you take him out is it's the 9th inning. And if they blow it, they blow it. That's on the Phillies bullpen. Not in the 8th inning where the Phillies bullpen can blow it and then come in the 9th and you got to have that scrub bat, right? Which happened in the 8th inning.
Okay.
And then the next, the whole Topper, benching thing, I'm for that. The manager made the decision, whatever he said, we don't know what he said, but he makes the call, put his foot down, you're going to sit out, you went over the line. That's just that thing.
Mm-hmm.
But then the next night, he keeps them in the 9th inning in a 3-1 game.
Yeah, that's I'm going to leave it there, but that's where I started having a problem, right? There's no real consistency there. It seems like, I don't know. It's
the runs were different though, right? It was
only a 2 or 3 run game.
I believe there was a 2-run difference in this scenario, if my memory is accurate there. But regardless, you have a point, Bones. I think the defensive replacement situation also is I think it's a fair, argument.
Yeah, I don't care that he does it, but do it in the 9th inning when.
Right.
If they blow it, they blow it. That happens.
We got a new chat member just coming in hot off the press with it. That hat is too small for Bones. Chris N, one of our longtime Red Riders. That's been the theme of the night, man. Scroll up that chat. You're probably going to have a nice little laugh. But no, Slim, I'm glad you introduced that because I agree with you, right? So what you want to argue the consistency. Look at this man. Edmundo Sosa, baby. Gotta love
away
it.
From the cycle.
Gotta love it. Here's the biggest thing, and we have Shane in the chat with a theory. His theory is that Casty said something about a teammate, not Topper.
That's what I think happened.
And that's the first I heard about that. I think that is a very good and realistic theory.
You're gonna take me out for this scrub.
But listen, we don't like to get in the whole spill the tea kind of drama stuff. But on the Red Corner was involved with this on Twitter because we had some interaction on our posts. Castellanos' family was going on Twitter, right? They were supporting him, which we were all about. But his mother was liking stuff about negative comments about Topper, right? Basically like saying, oh no, Topper's been making the wrong moves for a while type vibe, right? So it's reasonable to conclude that the Castellanos camp isn't that in favor of Topper, right? You guys think that's a safe thing to say?
No, for sure. They came out and basically, like you said, they endorsed it so far.
Right.
That's why I don't buy the theory that it was directed towards a teammate. I think he's getting benched because it was directed towards Topper, and it was probably offensive.
Right, but my point being that there must be some type of where he's in his feelings where he thinks that he can act this way. Because if Castellanos and his whole family, right, has some feelings about Topper, which we can reasonably conclude from Twitter, right? We might be reaching, we don't know this for sure, but it's a reasonable assessment to make from what we've seen from Twitter, right? Hold there, stay there. Now, with that in mind, we're in Castellanos' hometown, right? Where he's there, he gets pulled from the game. Why is he pulled? It's for a negative reason. The reason is because they're saying you're not that good at defense, so we want you out of the game. So Castellanos, having a big ego like every player that gets $20 million a year has, he feels some type of way. So he goes back to the dugout, like you're saying, Slim, and he has words. Does he have words for Topper? Does he have words for another teammate? We don't know. But the nastiness of this, like you're saying, Slim, is that there's some type of tension going on that I hope is smoothed over by now. That's all I was trying to get at.
No, and here's the truth: there's been something underneath the surface for a while, because there's rumors that Castellanos was, he was told before the game that he might be taken out. I think he was told in spring training that these scenarios might exist. If you remember, he batted lower in the lineup opening day. He batted, I forget where he batted. I think
like
he batted
seventh. Yeah,
good
call.
Low in the lineup.
That was
I think that was a shot to Castellanos. I think I'm not sure if it's been reported or not, but it's definitely been speculated. So yeah, it definitely existed. Topper that's what's so weird about it, because it doesn't seem like Topper or Castellanos is a Topper guy. Obviously,
right.
With that being said, he plays every day. So the Phillies, and here's what I don't like now. The Phillies got themselves in a position where they let this dude play every day. Then they bench him, and then Topper basically walks it all back. And I don't think we're going to be seeing the defensive switches that maybe we should be seeing more often. Maybe I'm wrong. Who knows? But that's kind of where I stand with it. And yeah, the family definitely has feelings for Topper that go back at least to, I would say, spring training and probably last year, because he's probably been dangling trades as well. We've seen that.
Bones, anything you wanted to add on that? Because I was going to build on that a little bit. I wanted to hear your thoughts on the whole family tie-in and all that.
Yeah, I mean, that's a bunch of BS to me. Like,
I hear you.
Like, I can see them backing them up, but like now you're getting like the public. You're already seeing the public things with like Taiwan Walker after the playoffs and stuff like that. You want to stay out of that stuff. Like, you got to tell the family, cut it out. It is what it is.
Yep.
And like Chris said, it like stems from like him batting seventh, apparently, to open the season up, like where he's moving down in the
lineup. One other thing, and this is not to stir the pot up, but we were talking about this. So Slim actually hosted a Phillies party yesterday. We were talking a lot about this, and I wanted to build on this. So, and great callbacks pulling out where Nick Castellanos started out this year, because that's a lot of people forget that. So Castellanos was very deliberate recently when he mentioned that he wants these defensive metric packets given to him every week. And he said he talked to Dombrowski about this, right? And again, I'm not trying to look too much into this, but we're deep into all this stuff, right? So Castellanos earlier this year, because like Slim mentioned, there's been a ton of trade rumors over the past couple of years with Castellanos' name in it. Castellanos basically said, I go directly to Dave Dombrowski, right? He goes directly to Dave Dombrowski. They have a relationship dating back to Detroit with the Tigers. So I wanted to know if chat, let me hear your thoughts on this, and you guys, I want to hear your thoughts. Do you think that Cassie is going above Topper by deliberately saying he's going to request this from Dombrowski about the packets?
I think so. I think so for sure. He's going above Topper. How is he not? And it opens up an avenue for other players to do it in the future.
Right.
For me, it's not a good look at all. But with that being said, and again, I've been I'm trying to be a topper guy this season, but now with that being said, we're seeing with Castellanos' streak, with the adjustment that Topper is doing, with probably going to end up starting him every game again and never taking him out ever again.
Right.
That maybe some of the front office is making some of these calls on these lineups, right?
Oh, for sure.
So that's all. That's all that tells me is that Topper um, is. I'm not. You're not going to say full. He's being influenced by the front office big time. He's not doing all
Every
the cooking
manager
himself.
is. Every manager is to a certain extent.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Then I still think I guess at worst at that point then it's just rude.
And get Bones. Thoughts on that?
What's that?
So the whole do you put any stake in the fact that yeah.
Not really, because like Topper's getting them numbers from the guys upstairs anyway,
Yeah, that's the counter.
and that's where, and like Chris just said in the chat, that he's his own agent. Nicky sees
Correct.
his own agent.
Correct.
So, like, if they're going to use this stuff against him, like, come, like, contract-wise, he wants to know them numbers, see why they're, how they read it instead of,
Right.
so.
No, that's a good point there. Chris and in the chat mentioned that. Keep in mind that Casty has a relationship also with Dom because he's his own agent. Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at as well. I and Shane said, how do we know those metrics don't come from the higher ups? I was more being a little bit petty, only because I know Casty is in his feelings right now, and he says he's going to go to Dombrowski for those packets. And I wanted to know if that was a deliberate kind of like I'm going to the top head honcho for this stuff. But we won't stir the pot up too much there. We got a random Braves rule in the chat.
The Braves drool, loser.
Yeah, they drool, brother.
They're in third place. They've had a great organization, and you have a stiffer manager that your fan base and your media cover up for, but he's an absolute stiff.
Nice.
Tell us how you really feel.
Yeah, Tell us how you really feel there. Bones, any other questions to get some little bit of any questions for the chat? Either of you guys.
So, where are we at with the questions we had?
Do you want to announce a winner? Bones, pick a winner on one of those questions, just so we can. This is for the Darth Vader koozie. Pick a winner.
So I got a couple here. We got Pedro Martinez, said by a couple people.
Okay.
Taiwan Walker was said. Jose Bautista. Who was it? Cosman? I don't know who this guy is. He must be old. I forget but his last name was Cosman.
Okay.
Roger McDowell.
Good one.
Ricky Bowe.
Great one.
That
Top
was
of the
by Albert.
seventh. Mets got one on here.
And Whitey Ashburn.
That's a monster list right there.
And I'm thinking Roger McDowell. Just
nice.
with the Seinfeld reference, that episode was on earlier this week. I think the date actually just passed. It was June 14th, so that was last week, last Saturday, with Kramer and Newman. McDowell spit on them, and they thought it was the first baseman Keith Hernandez.
It was McDowell the whole time.
It was McDowell the whole time.
Ah, that's a great episode.
Great episode. Great call by Bonzi in the chat there. So who gave that answer?
That was Bonzi.
Oh, okay, there you go. So congratulations, Bonzi. We have a nice little. I don't know if you're a Star Wars guy or not, but doesn't get much cooler than that. We got a nice collab, Darth Vader. You have won that, so congratulations. All right, we got top of the seventh here. What do you got, Slim?
No, same thing. Top of the seventh. If they're going to try to make a little comeback here, if they're going to want to at least get one or two here, leadoff man on.
So I got another question.
Luzardo's still in. Luzardo's still in.
What is your favorite Phillies Mets moment? Give us a moment. Favorite moment from the Phillies Mets game in your lifetime. See what you got.
Bo- Bones is distracted by the incessant comments about the size of his hat relative to his head. Apologies.
Yeah, Bones, you got to go full
Can't
screen. You
breathe.
can't look at the chat. You can't look at the chat.
Thoughts on Greg Jeffries from a Philly perspective? Ron Doe in the chat.
Yeah, he was good, except in Philly, he sucked.
Former All-Star
That's
Greg
my
Jeffries.
thoughts.
Yeah.
When
I
did
I
we
think that was
have
the
him?
first Phillies player I hated, to be honest with you.
That's funny. That is too funny. I had a signed ball by him. Random.
Did you? That's crazy. All right, we got one or two. We got 2 outs down. My bad. Yeah, I think Slim missed him. That was right before Slim got in the baseball.
All right. So, what's our next question but guys? What do you got for the next prize? We got the mini bat, the Philly Fanatic mini bat.
I just said what's your favorite Phillies Mets moment?
Oh, that's the prize. Okay, good,
Yeah,
perfect.
That's the chat.
That's going to be a tough one. So, guys, jump in Chat GPT because I know you're going to be doing that anyway. You cheaters. I see the names in there. Apologies, I didn't know that was the.
And this one we won't take none
pick.
off the board. We won't take none off the board.
No, nothing off the board.
Two jump in my
we
head.
kind of took one off the board with the unassisted triple play.
Oh, true. Yeah, I'm trying to think.
But if we don't take it off the board, it's on the board still. Right?
No, we already talked about it.
Fair.
All right.
This is loose.
Yeah, it fits. Looks good. Looks good, dude.
It's not a great hat.
Oh, now you're coming at the hat quality. Don't be crapping on the. Listen, that's one of the giveaways, brother. Come on.
The auto trucker hats.
It's not a great hat
quality.
for my hat.
It looks good.
I'm not a trucker hat guy.
Your head is I mean, what's your fitted hat size? Let's talk about that.
I can't remember.
Hold on.
Fitted hat.
Chat. I want some guesses, chat. Slim and Bones, their fitted hat sizes. I have a guess. Let's see what the chat comes up with for Slim and Bones. Start off with Bones and then give me Slim's fitted hat size guess. Do you guys even know what it would be?
I can't remember the last time I had a fitted hat. It's probably 100 pounds ago.
Start off with a haymaker and 7 7/8 from Chris.
I got no idea.
Absolute haymaker.
I got no idea.
I would think, and this is me being sincere, I would think one of you two are a 7 7/8. I would think, honestly. Because 8s are a real thing, and you both have huge circumference heads. So I would think 8, probably one of you.
I don't even know if I got a fitted hat upstairs to even try on anymore.
I never had a fitted hat.
After this inning, I'm going to put the girls to bed, and I'm going to grab a fitted hat.
Oh, yeah, that's great concept.
I think I got one upstairs.
So Luzardo leaves the game there.
I used to be a 7.
Yeah, it wasn't a haymaker. It was an educated guess. Yeah, you're just doing math, Chris. Just doing math. That's fair. Slim holds a lot of anger, so 8.
You said that.
Rondo in the chat. Yeah.
Chris, let's just say Chris brought a lot of Mets fans into this. That are subscribers, and we thank them for that.
I'm a 7-7-1. I'm a 7 1/8. So Chris is a 7 1/4. Yeah.
I'm probably a 7.5.
No, you're definitely bigger than that.
Yeah, Chris, you said 7 and 7, 14. So I was going to say, was that 7.5?
Yeah,
Or
it's in second grade, Bones 7. Yeah, you were a 7 when, dude.
A while.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
All right,
we
I'm
gotta
going to
go.
go put the girls to bed,
Yeah.
and we'll figure this out.
All right.
If not, maybe we'll drive up to Philadelphia Mills and check out, get some hats. What was that hat place we used to go to?
Lids is the classic one.
Is that the one that was in all the malls?
Yeah, Lids is the classic, OG fitted hat place. Dude, fitted hats, I remember when they were $20. They're like 40, $50 now for just a standard fitted hat. It's inflation, baby.
Yeah, 20.
Because I remember it was 20, then it went to 25, then it was 30. Now they're like 40. For
The most hats I've worn has been on this show. I'm having a little bit of a rebirth as a hat guy. I've been anti-hat because the truth is I've had great hair. Now the hair is getting a little worse, so now I'm rocking the hats.
Yeah, but to be honest, you look good in the trucker hat. You were
I
rocking
think
that on Saturday. Yeah, you look nice in it.
yeah, I like it. I like rocking. The reason I don't have it on now is because all three of us would just be sitting here rocking hats. So I decided I'll be the solo non-hat guy for tonight. But I got the same hat that Bones has on, and I could try it on and see like you could, because if the viewers need a better guess,
Oh yeah,
that's a hat that fits, right?
yeah, but it's interesting. It doesn't look as tight on you, but I would say you have a bigger head than him. Very interesting.
I
Very
don't think
interesting. So Bonzi in the chat is saying you should do an official measure next show. Bonzi, we're going to do it even better. Bones is going to be trying a fitted hat on it momentarily. So I guess we could figure out from there. But I'm all about that. We should measure their hats.
And the best thing about being a hat person, I'm going to have to take this off so you guys can still hear me. Right? If you're stressing a game, you can pop it up, right?
Oh, yeah, you can do all
flip it backwards, right? Or you can go gangsta and pop it on your head like that, right?
That's funny. Bones' head is a little swollen. Jeez.
It does look like he has some kind of like summer allergic reaction. There must be some kind of cicada bug or something in his yard that bit him.
Brutal. I think the Bones big head thing might have overtaken the Nikki C Slim relationship as far as the biggest, shade thrown. All right. Well, we got a little bit of downtime here before we transition to Slim Pick'ems a little bit later. I'm just going to throw another digression out there at you guys. So, just a simple one. I want to hear the best and the worst beach foods. So I'm talking, you're on the beach, you're posted up. You can get that food however you want, but factor in however you want to factor it. You know the stuff that you have to consider with a beach food. So give me the best and worst beach food, guys.
You want me to give it to you?
One? Yeah, start off with one.
All right, my favorite beach food is the Choco Taco. Right, fudgy.
Oh, you're going straight to dessert.
Yeah, I'm going straight to dessert. I'm getting a Choco Taco. The worst beach food, and this, don't get me wrong, I enjoy them, but they're not really a beach thing. They're slowly taking over the beach towns, though, and that's a cheesesteak. I don't want to see people eating a cheesesteak on the beach.
That's a good answer. Hilarious answer. Ryan in the chat. Worst beach food is chili. Yeah, honestly, that might be number one. Also, I want to say this. How many people, when you ask them the worst food, go straight to dessert? I mean, best, that's honestly, and you might be right. You might be right. Choco Taco. We're talking.
Yeah. I just go by, when I bite it, the dopamines go crazy with a Choco Taco.
Yeah.
What else are people eating on the beach?
Oh, there you go. Rondo in the chat saying that the lobster roll at Jimbo's in Wildwood is great. That's true. Ron is a New York guy. He's also a Wildwood guy, so shout out to him. Bones, do you want to try that hat on now?
All right.
I'm in Wildwood now.
So this hat is a 7.25.
7.25, so 7 1/4.
Yep.
So you're saying it shouldn't fit?
This doesn't fit.
No,
This doesn't fit at all.
this is gonna be Hey Arnold situation
And
right here.
This hat's got to be 15 years old. I got more hats upstairs. This is the first one I pulled out.
All right, I need Turner to get a hit here.
First and only pull out.
Here we go.
And it's a Cardinals hat. Don't
Violation.
Scott Rowland. It was from when Scott Rowland played with the Cardinals. So this hat's almost 20 years old.
Just put the hat on. Oh, wow! This is underwhelming. It actually kind of fits.
It doesn't fit. It's tight.
Yeah, but I was hoping it. I mean, you look ridiculous, and that hat looks like it. But
Struggling to get these fucking things here.
You look good.
like OJ Simpson trying to set up. Well,
Damn, Ron.
that hat is screaming at the seams.
It looks
man.
like you're like a kid who just took like a pill or something and like got enormous. Reverse, Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
Wow. It looks like someone just sat on that hat for an hour.
Oh yeah, it's been up in the bin for a while. This is old. It's almost 20 years old. This is literally Scott Rowland played for the last time he played for the Cardinals. I think was 2007.
That's right. Yeah. Another Turner hit, baby.
Yeah. Oh, it's coming. I just saw it. Nice. Oh, Swerves now too. Let's go. Now I need that Remuto homer. Let's go Remuto. Let's go Remuto.
So you're saying that that's a 7 1/4, and it does get on your head. So honestly, I'm a little bit under. I'm guessing you're probably 7.5. Like realistically, that's probably what you are.
That's what I said.
Yeah, you were spot on. Now, what is your?
That means
head?
Chris is like 7 3/4.
Yeah.
We'll have to go somewhere to try some hats on. I need some
hat.
I need to get some hats, so I'm down to go. I'm gonna get a selection.
Got to get the jaws of life out.
Slim needs some hats, and he needs some kicks. And honestly, my barber was on vacation, and I haven't gotten a good haircut in about 3 months. So I'm gonna have to link up with him soon.
You had that fresh cut.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I was getting fresh cuts.
Yeah.
I had to cancel one appointment, and then that was on me. And then my barber went away, and now I'm down the shore, so it's a whole like cat and mouse game.
Yeah. But he does a good job, that guy. That I remember you sent that package that they gave you. That was it like the VIP package that you get?
Yeah, the premium, the prestige.
Prestige, there you go.
Prestige package, absolutely. It's a spa. It's like a spa day for gentlemen.
Yeah. So Bones, when you were going to find that 1980s hat, we were talking about the best and worst beach foods. So let me kind of just catch you up here. We had chili as the worst. Some of the other foods that have been mentioned. We have a hoagie, and a Marinucci's hoagie specifically that was mentioned there. I got to agree there. Hoagie is a great beach food.
Hoagies, yeah. Great beach food.
Lobster roll. So Ron must be a baller. And then someone in the chat said, damn, lobster roll on the beach. All right, Elon Musk. So, I mean, lobster roll, that's a baller move by you, Ron. But I've never had a lobster roll on the beach so far. But I'm sure it's pretty good, right? I mean, lobster rolls are good.
The people we know are just trash. That's all.
I think anything hot on the beach is bad move.
Pizza?
Yeah, you said cheesesteak.
Yeah,
that's
pizza.
the call by you.
Get like bubble guts, dude. If it's
Pizza was mine that I was going to say. Pizza's a bad beach food. And I say it. You say it, man.
Yeah, I'll get a pizza.
Yeah.
Get a pizza.
I think hoagie's number one. Hot dog is a good one. That's hot. That's classic. There was another
hot
good
dog
one.
Carts are awesome.
That's not bad.
Right there.
That dude makes a killing.
Oh, yeah. Here's a good question. At what price do you start thinking disrespectful when you got a standard hot dog served to you outside of the ballpark.
I was going to say at the ballpark.
Outside of the ballpark. So when does that get disrespectful? I have a price in my mind. Let's start off with you on this one, Bones.
$2.50.
Oh, well, that's way lower than I was going to say. Yeah. What do you got, Slim?
Disrespectful is $5. $4.50. I can accept it.
Okay.
Once you hit me for $5, that's too much. It should be, you do $4.50, then 3 for 10, or 3 for 12, or something like that.
3 for 10.
So $6 was the number in my mind. So what if I have a standard size hot dog being served to me? Once you get to 6, it's like, really, dude, you're crushing me here.
Right.
But no, I mean, there's $10 hot dogs nowadays.
I'm hungry. I'm telling you right now, I'm starving. I might.
You might order a hot dog.
I'm gonna get something. I'll tell you what. Talking about hot dogs, the Works have all types of great hot dogs. They have turbo dogs. They have Texas Tommies.
Oh, the Texas Tommies are
and
dynamite there.
They are under $5.
I love Texas Tommies.
Under $5. Sometimes it has extra meat, bacon. Some have roasted peppers. Check it out again. Just great stuff.
Speaking of hot dog, I meant to mention this earlier. We really should talk to the Works about adding the red corner dog to their menu.
Ooh. Yeah. I got some criticism because with my cheesesteak, some people didn't like the approach I had with my cheesesteak meat. Those people, they can go whatever.
Pound sand.
Right. With that being said, absolutely, the Works could hit the red corner dog out the park.
Ryan A in the chat saying,
here we go.
Another one. Awesome. Man.
Come on, fatty. Get around there.
Schwarber is the man.
Dude, I love watching his feet go as he's running around the base.
Oh, yeah.
Laying a smackdown on him, man. This is some nice revenge.
This is a signature win, man. I was worried after yesterday. Especially because it's like, damn, we ring 10 on them and they come back and get 11 the next day. Like, that's such a Phillies thing to do.
And it starts with Luzardo. He had what? And he went 7 innings, or got into the 7th.
Nicky Doubles. Where's he at now? Where's he at now? Nicky Doubles.
Give
me the live update on that, boys. Where's he at now in the doubles? God, this is
Nicky
beautiful
Doubles.
thing. It's a beautiful thing. He looks like Fred Flintstone running. Jerry, you're 100% right. And Ryan A in the chat about the hot dog said, once you hit $5, you better help raising his kids. I'm with you on that, man. Because it's like you got a family of 4. It's $20 for a hot dog. That's rough. Now top 10. Thank you, Shane, in the chat. Shane is our stats guy.
We need a homer here from our boy Romuto. It's just looking at strikes. I don't care. It's 7-0, bud. You can make this game 9-0. I know you're going to make it 9-0. Let's go, Romuto. Do what you got to do. And hey, you know what? I got to say something. Let me go grab my wallet. I didn't announce this, but Slim had 5 extra bucks, and he put $5, right? So it's unofficial, but I put $5 on another parlay. I forget exactly what's on there, but I'm gonna go check it in a second and see how close it is. It was something corny like Phillies win, the total's an even amount of number, even or odd amount, or something weird, something stupid.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't even going to mention it, but now that I'm looking at the score, I think it's in play. So let me go grab that after Romuto whacks homer to make it 9-0.
And make sure you're ready for Slim Pick'ems too, bro.
Slim Pick'ems. I'm ready for Slim Pick'ems.
Okay, I'm just making sure. All right.
You want to do that? The 9th?
Yeah, we're going to do that at the normal time. I just want to make sure you're ready.
Yeah, I'm ready for it.
Between the 8th and the 9th. So stay tuned for Slim Pick'ems, guys. And we are announcing our second new show partner tonight. That will be announced during Slim Pick'em, so stay tuned for that. Yeah, so we have 3 partners now. We are not messing around here. Thank you, Shane. So Nicky C is now tied for 5th. So my prior incorrect claim is now correct. So Nicky C is now tied for 5th in the entire major leagues in doubles. That's impressive. Slim, you got to give him flowers. He's top 5 in doubles. That's a real deal thing. That's a real deal, Holyfield stat.
Yeah.
Sorry, Bones.
No, yeah, he's doing good today.
Yeah. I mean, no, he's doing good. He's doing good. Don't say today. Don't say today.
He has a lot of doubles. The doubles is a good sign. It's a good sign.
Doubles is a hitter's stat, and you know it is.
This Remuto, man, is he going to get up again for me? Because he didn't there.
Probably not. What do we got going on there? All right, so tied with Freddie Freeman and Brendan Donovan at 21 doubles. Gotta love it. Gotta love it. All right, so let's remind the chat of what the Mets moments won. That's a tough question. So I think it's a good question, but it's a tough one. So I think that's why we're not getting a lot of activity on that.
Hey, what's your top Phillies Mets moment in the history of this great rivalry? We had a couple so far.
Yeah.
Phillies win the division in 2008 was one.
Okay, that's a good one.
The
collapse, right?
The collapse.
Yeah.
Because they didn't win the division against the Mets, did they? Oh, yeah, they did.
2007, they did.
In 08,
well, 2007, yeah, 2008, yes. Steve in the chat saying, "Stay strong to your take, Slim. Don't let the agitators get you."
Yeah, I mean the doubles. Yeah, he has a decent amount of power. The home runs aren't. I mean, he has a couple home runs since I think we talked about it. But yeah, it is what it is. We don't got to get crazy all the time. He's hitting the ball well right now.
Oh, that's a monster guess there by Steve in the chat. Bunting perfect game.
Ooh,
that's gonna be tough to beat. All righty. Beach Foods. Here we go. Any other guesses, guys? Top Mets moments ever.
Jeez, leaving out a lot here.
Yeah.
I got one in mind.
Yeah, let's hear it.
Oh, you want it now?
Oh, I thought you were gonna like give us one.
No, I was gonna say if they didn't say it, I was gonna eventually say it.
Well, I'll give my top Mets moment with a former Philly. And that is the famous takeout slide by Chase Utley on the Mets. That is my top Mets moment ever, Phillies Mets moment ever, because that is the number one thing that bothers Mets fans, and they're not honest with themselves, right? Because when you're a fan of a team, every once in a while, you got to be honest with yourself. And you know that was just a hard-nosed baseball play. And they let their fandom get in the way of it. They can't just admit that because of the injury. No one wants anyone to get hurt. We know, but that was just a hard-nosed baseball play. So that's my top one. Ooh, that's a good one. Ron in the chat with the thumbs down. We got Michael Y in the chat saying, Utley saying, boo, F you to New York has to be top 3 in the All-Star game. Oh, wait. That's a monster answer right there.
Yeah, that was funny.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one. Further than the slide, Chase Utley being asked if he hates the Mets, and he says yes while he's playing for the Dodgers. Dude, he just said that, he just recently doubled up on that, too. I think he was doing like a tour on something with the
what
London.
A play.
Beautiful thing. Yeah, beautiful play. He was doing a tour on the whole London relationship, right? Because he's like an ambassador for London. And he was like, do you honestly still dislike the Mets? And he said, yes. Yes, I do. Gold Glove Trey.
Yeah, looking good, looking good. Is he going to make the All-Star game? Like I said, we got to get the votes up.
He better.
I think I'm going to have to get some votes in for him because he's playing fantastic right now. That was a great
5
play.
times a day. He got up until the 26th. That's when the voting ends for the first round.
Yep.
Trey, man, he's another one with the defensive woes. Maybe
So I think
Castellanos can get inspired.
I think Jerry Bart said the one I was going to say. I missed it. When the Phillies came back from 10 runs down.
Oh yeah.
And Tadahito Iguchi scored the winning run.
That's a classic one.
August 30th, 2007, I guess.
Yeah, that's a tough one to top. Steve Cos in the chat mentioned the 2007 Mets collapse. That's the one I was referencing earlier. Ron in the chat here. Ron, I wonder what year this was. Ron references David Wright returns from the DL in Philly, and Utley hit a 600-foot shot. Or I think he's saying that Wright hit the 600-foot shot.
Yeah, which time was that? David Wright was always on the DL.
Yeah, you gotta specify.
Stiff. And he always killed the Phillies.
Oh yeah, right.
Nothing new there, Ron.
All right, top of the eighth, Phillies up 7-0.
Up. Well, guess what? Lindor homer, right?
Yep.
Hopefully this streak ends tonight. That would be 29 games where he hits a homer. Hopefully it's 28-1.
Yeah, Max's meatballs. Yeah, I mean,
Jesus Christ. That was down there too. Not a bad pitch.
Yeah, no.
Can't do nothing about that.
He just has our number.
Golfed it out.
Yeah, it's whatever.
Still 7-1.
As we're doing this, let me grab that. See what these other plays look like.
Yeah, then we're gonna announce our our next partnership here. So why don't you pick a winner, Bones? Let's pick a winner now on your favorite moment that was said. And you were the proud winner of this Philly Fanatic mini bat. I think you can see that, right?
So we had a lot of new people in the chat tonight. Let's go with the Steve Costello. I think he's been a Red Rider for a while in the chat.
Yeah, good call.
I mean, I guess 07 Mets collapse. It's all like part of the same thing.
So congratulations, Steve. We'll get this shipped over to you, brother. That's exactly right. We appreciate. We see a lot of recurring people in the chat. So tell a friend. Whether you're doing some water cooler talk, we appreciate it. Just spread the word about the Red Corner. Jimmy D in the chat saying, "I hate that you called that." Obviously talking about the Lindor homer. Congratulations. So Slim, I'm excited to get to your segment. We have a lot of people in the chat right now. You want to just do it now? Let's just do it now.
Can you guys hear me? It's all good.
Loud and clear. Let's announce our newest partnership on the Red Corner. Slim Pick'ems. What do you got, Slim?
All right. We had a lot of action. And if you guys been listening, I've been trying to explain how the concepts and all this works. I can't be held into one day a week. All right. Especially after we come on here on Sunday nights and the market closes, right? So I'm coming in after the markets close. You guys want picks before basically 16, 18, 24 hours before the markets reopen. It's ridiculous. So you got to follow the handle at TRC Slim to make sure you're getting all the plays in and keeping up with the units and all that. So right, for baby. Now, right, here we are, Slim Pick'ems. You're paying attention this past weekend. I just went 13 for 15.
Let's introduce our sponsor, Slim.
Okay.
Yeah.
Introduce a sponsor.
Yeah.
So our sponsors are Warminster Dental Associates and D-Town Dental. Okay. They're located at 380 York Road in Warminster, PA. And D-Town Dental is at 10 South Clinton, Suite 206 in Doylestown, Pennsylvania. All right. And I'm going to get back to them because believe it or not, they slide in. They really do manner in the Slim Pick'em. So let's take it from the top. This past weekend in the betting intervals, Slim went 13 for 15, super duper hot. What we're taking tomorrow is all -1.5, all 1 unit. We're taking the Rangers plus 175, the Braves plus 135, Yankees plus 135, Seattle plus 165, Red Sox plus 135, and the D-backs are going to be even. Again, all minus 1.5, all 1 units. And this is where the Warminster Associates and D Dental come in. It's a lot of plays now. It's every day. So you're going to be grinding your teeth. You're going to be sweating these bets out left
That's
and
right,
right.
baby. That's right.
I'm not even going to lie. I went down to Warminster. I've been there so much with grinding my teeth. They hooked me up with a nice little mouthpiece. Now my nice big white chompers. That's the next thing. I'm getting white and next. But
Yep.
they told me, they said, Slim, if you keep betting these away dogs, you're going to have baby teeth by the time you're 40 years old because you're grinding them too much. All right. So my boys, the dentists, the people down at Warminster Dental and D Town Dental, they
Yes,
can
sir.
hook you up, especially if you're like me, if you're grinding your teeth at night, sweating all these big underdogs. All right. You know what I'm talking about. Follow the handle. We're hitting the markets every single day. The opportunity never closes.
Yeah, Dr. April does a great job with both them dentistries out there.
100%. And
from the neighborhood.
And
Slim,
and with that now, the other thing is if you're not grinding your teeth, some of you has probably already got your teeth knocking out. If you were following Slim earlier this year, you probably lost a ton of money. Hopefully you're winning some money back and you can now get your teeth fixed at Warminster Dental Associates or at D-Town Dental, okay? If you lost money, if you got your teeth knocked out for whatever reason, Slim apologizes. We're back in the green. I didn't get into it. My record now is 53-98, but we're plus 24 units, over 24 units, 24.60 units. Why is that? It's because we sweat and grind out these big dogs.
Yes, sir.
We hit three plus 300s the last 7 days. It matters big time. And we're grinding out one the rest of this game. So here's the play I have. It was a baby play, a little fun. $5 wins $40 plus 700. Total over 9 runs. We're at 8 runs now. I need the runs to fall on an even number. So I need 2 more runs. I need to fall exactly on 10, which hits exactly with the over.
Yep.
So, and then after that, I got the Phillies minus 1.5.
Great picks there. And that Slim Pick'em's brought to you by Warminster Dental Associates and D-Town Dental. Guys, they are smiles ahead of the competition. I wish I had a cavity. That's how good they are over at Warminster Dental and D-Town. Just some of the best. I mean, listen, Warminster is not that far. We actually have a few buddies that live out there. It's not that far from Philly. So if you are in the Philadelphia area, Warminster or Doylestown, there's no reason that you shouldn't develop a relationship with these guys. They are our newest sponsors, so show them some love because they show the Red Corner love. Slim, anything else on your picks? Because you're on a heater right now. You're on an absolute heater.
No, we're all going to be smiling in a few. Besides the Phillies' big win, I think we're going to get 2 more runs in this game, and it's going to land exactly at 10 for us. And if that happens, yeah, Slim wins $40. So let's go.
Let's go. All right, guys. Slim Pick'em's there. Let's go back to the big.
We get a couple more runs. We got we'll have some new bullpen diaries content we can talk about.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
So let's all pray for new runs. We all like new content.
Well, we have the top of the order coming up if our boy Rojas gets on here. So maybe the Phillies can add it on and then finish this game up.
We have some nice puns in the chat here by Steve Ka saying, braces yourself. So Slim's Locks brought to you by Warminster Dental Associates. Well done. Well done.
And here goes the take. We're obviously not listening to the game because we're doing this, but watching the game. I didn't realize John Sciambi's on there.
Yep.
He's a way better broadcaster than Carl Ravitch. Carl Ravitch should stay into the baseball tonight segment. He shouldn't be calling games.
All right, here we come.
You're right. John Sciambi.
Slim now needs the message.
Sunday Night Baseball is done with ESPN either this year.
I know. Yeah, that's he's doing the College World Series, right? Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Yeah. LSU. Shout out to LSU.
And the Sports Center leading into the baseball game tonight. I know the NBA Finals were on, but they didn't even mention the baseball game at all.
Yeah, I forget they were talking about the other day, like on ESPN. They were talking about like NFL, something about the NFL, and it was the day after the finals or something.
Yeah.
Game 6 of the finals.
This
Or
is
no, it might even be in the Ralphie Devers trade on Monday. They were talking about the finals last week.
It's crazy.
What reliever is coming in? Did you guys catch it? Because this is probably a good spot for me to get a cheap 2 runs on the Mets and hit this little sucker. You know?
Well, if Walker didn't pitch yesterday, he'd probably be coming in. That would be a layup.
Yeah.
What do you guys think about Walker?
I think he gives them. I think he gives meatballs to the Mets on purpose.
I saw that
I
floating around.
firmly believe that.
That's hilarious.
Why?
There's no way he does that, and you don't believe that either.
He's got boys on the team, and he hates the Phillies because they didn't play him in the playoffs.
He should love the Phillies. You have 18 million reasons
I know.
to love the Phillies.
$72 million.
He's got his boys. He's trying to get them good contracts, you know?
Yeah, right. Strom is in.
Yeah, he might be good for there.
Perhaps.
He's the guy that should be plunking guys out of the bullpen, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going full circle. I'm with you there. All right. So hopefully close this out. Next watch party. If I'm down the shore watching the game, I got to make sure I get a little comforter for the wooden chair I'm sitting on. I'm sitting on an old kitchen wooden chair, and my ass hurts from sitting on this chair all night.
Are you used to wood?
Your hiney hurts.
It does.
Sorry to hear that.
We ain't got a sponsor for that one yet.
No, we'll work on that seat cushion sponsor. Hey, if any of the Red Riders have a relationship with a seat cushion or anything like that, please let us know. It's funny because we've had a lot of people reach out to us about sponsorships. We're very selective in who we enter a relationship with, right? As far as sponsorships, because we have to know that we legitimately support these guys, right? We're not going to just put our name behind anything. So if you do have anyone out there you think would be a good fit for us, just let us know, and we'll see if it makes sense. Red Corner's next sponsorship needs to be Ray Moore and Flanagan.
James, he does not need a donut.
Guys, Slim and Bones, I kind of want to do another giveaway, especially these nice Red Corner hats. And I also want to remind, speaking of our sponsors, remind everyone this upcoming Friday, we are doing a Love City watch party at Love City Brewing. Come hang out. We're going to be giving away another one of these bad boys at the watch party against the Braves. But do you have any other questions that we can kind of award one of these Red Riders, these new trucker hats? Anything else?
Give me a minute. I'll think about it.
No, that's fine. I just wanted to see if you had anything.
This game's going longer than usual.
Oh yeah, we're at the 2 hour and 40-minute mark here, boys. It's probably our all-time longest one, but we promise we're going to fill the entire game, and we will do that. So let me think of one. Okay, here's one. I want to know, what do you think is your top, and don't say playoffs, what's the top month to go to a baseball game? And give me some reasons why. Because that's one of my favorite things about baseball. It's a long season, right? We hear that nonstop. It's the seasonality of it. So I want to hear what's your favorite month to go to a baseball game, and tell me why. Give me a little bit of a story behind it. The best story wins this.
I gotta say, Labor Day. After Labor Day, September, the kids are back at school. You know, so a lot of times, especially if the Phillies are in the hunt now, so it's going to be sold out throughout the year. But if it's a team that's not in the hunt, those tickets are going to be dirt cheap. If you're someone who usually doesn't buy tickets up on the 100 level, third baseline, first baseline, behind home plate, stuff like that. That week after Labor Day, when the Phillies are not good, you can get some dealios. And then you can parlay it because I like my correlations. I used to parlay it with the Beatles night. The Beatles night used to be late in September, but I'm sure you can find another night that you like.
Hmm.
Wait for the Phillies to be not so hot, and you can go there and feel like you have to watching a private baseball game.
That's a good answer. We have some chat activity saying a September weekend evening game after an Eagles game. Okay, that's a lot going on that day. Got to make sure you have a designated driver
Yeah.
on a day like that.
So you guys want to go to the Phillies game? Going to the Phillies, going to the Phillies. Where we going? It's the Eagles. We're
Yeah.
going to the Eagles.
This is exactly why I asked this question because it's a great answer in the chat here. So M. Walton saying June. I've gone to Father's Day game with my pops for the past 6 years. That's a great answer. Stuff like that because I feel like every month someone has their own little story or tradition as to what they associate with. I'm going to say the low hanging fruit one, whether it's March or April opening day, right? So that opening day feeling, I feel like a little kid, like I really do. It's that Christmas morning type feeling. It's the anything is possible. You get together, whether you're going to the game, whether you're gonna get together with friends and family. Opening day is best national holiday should be. We talk about that.
I'm with Shane with the September evening game
Yeah,
because you still get that sometimes you get the nice brisk weather, um, and you got the playoff atmosphere. It's starting to get tight, division on the line, uh, and stuff like that. Dogs are running around, but I like that Walton one. How are the shorts this year, Walton? How are the shorts they gave out? They always
oh
give a good
yeah.
giveaway out on that day.
Is that what those shorts? I thought they gave out
A pair of shorts, I believe.
All right,
That's
two
the
down
game.
here.
Yeah, not looking good.
First place Phillies.
All right, that's the ball game. All
Drop it.
right,
The shorts aren't bad.
good. All right, so this is what I'm going to do. We're going to ball game. Your Philadelphia Phillies are now in the lead of the division. So thank you very much for everyone for hanging out. This was a long one. The chat was absolutely awesome tonight. M. Walton, you just won that hat with that Father's Day answer. That was an awesome answer. Thank you for that. Guys, I know we've been repetitive, but I got to say, this is the business. If you're in the Philly area, please come hang out with us. Watch party at Love City Brewing this Friday. Slim Bones and I will be there 5:30. We're jumping right on the stool for weekend happy hour. Come hang out. Tonight was an awesome game. Glad we got the result we wanted. I'll let you each have some closing thoughts here, but this was a great one here. What do you got, Slim?
Nothing. First, our Philadelphia Phillies are in first place. We have a huge week of games coming up. We got to finish strong going into because we talked about this month of baseball.
Oh yeah,
Slim brought up the opponents, and so far the Phillies are kicking butt, doing what they need to do. Let's keep it up. And I have come to Love City Friday night. They got a nice huge bar. We'll have food. We'll have the game on. If you come up, say Slim beer. You already know what's up. I got you with a beer. It's that simple. And we got Red
simple as
Riders
that.
who will tell you it has happened. It has happened.
The Slim beers are the best beers. Bones, close it down. Do you have one for us today, or
Yeah, I got one for it. I got a couple for us.
Oh, this is all right. Love to see it.
And Chris will like the first one I got. This day in Phillies history, Pete Rose double moved him to second place on the career hits list with 3,772. This was on this date in 1982. He drove in Ivan de Jesus, but the Phillies lost 3-2 anyway.
Of course.
Only RBI today. Or no.
2010, Jamie Moyer gives up a home run to Cleveland's Russell Branyan. It was the 505th home run given up in Jamie Moyer's career.
Russell Branyan.
Tying him for the most home runs given up all time. I didn't know Jamie Moyer gave up the most home runs all time.
It shouldn't surprise you, but I didn't know that either.
It was the only run he gave up, and he earned the win. Went 8 innings.
It just shows you. It just shows you. You gotta don't ever give up.
This date, 1967, goes back to our favorite Phillies names, right?
Yes.
This date, 1967, the Phillies traded for Dick Groat.
There you go.
From they traded they traded Dick Groat to the San Francisco Giants for cash.
Oh, nice.
And
See,
then
I
the final one on this date in 2007, and this was a huge signing because it played a pivotal part in the next couple years for the Phillies. The Phillies signed J.C. Romero to a minor league contract. You all know he came in, played.
Oh, yeah.
Key part of the bridge to Lidge in 08, but also helped stabilize the bullpen in 07 to lead up to Brett Myers, who was 100%. The closer that year, and defeat the Mets from the top of the standings that year. 7 with 17 to go.
That was a nice assortment there. Is that everything, Bones?
That's it.
All right, guys. This was a fun one. And the chat just said, let's crush it this week. Guys, stay tuned if you're still here. Hit that subscribe button. This was an awesome day. Stay tuned for the future where we will measure both Slim and Bones' head, and we will figure out what their fitted hat size is.
Friday night,
live at Love City Brewing. We will see you guys soon. Bring a friend.